Hello, comrades, and welcome to episode number 238 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of August 24th, 2024. 24. Apparently, this is a lot of holidays. I was compelled to look up what holidays were today, and one of them that wasn't listed was TF2 Day, and I learned it was TF2 Day because there were jars of piss all over Noita. And I don't. That's just the way things work. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me, I have Nicholas Christensen, TJ Sakoshio, Jacob Durbin, and Cosmos returning back to the show. Welcome back.
Yo.
And today we're going to talk about some stuff in New York because my topic is left over from last time. Some stuff in Maine, some stuff in California, some stuff all over the U.S., and young people in preservation. The train will terminate at this station.
We are in the wonderful town of Chehalis, Washington.
Where it is currently still sunny, unlike here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
and there will be a train at some point.
There seems to be a scrolling list of trains on the left. I don't know if they're
I think they're ones that have already come.
Okay. Because you can see the Amtrak schedule up top. This is interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
we have the credit for who it belongs to at Lewis County Historical Museum. I'm appreciating this sort of run of cams that has extra information. Like, some of them have, like, the Amtracker up. Wasn't that one of the New England cams had that, TJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one channel that does all, like, there's, like, a New London cam, East Greenwich cam, all those that have it.
Oh, well, shout out to rail cams. Thanks for not sending us cease and desists. And actually, I want to jump in like really early to tie this to what we were talking about while the intro was running. There's a K4 beer now. There's a Levity Brewing Company in Altoona has introduced their latest brew, which is called K4.
Okay.
What is it?
A dry stout with notes of coffee and chocolate. 10% of proceeds from draft and cans will go towards the restoration of 1361.
All right, that's cool. Then.
That's pretty cool.
I'd suffer through a stout to support them.
You know, you could just give them money, TJ. You don't have to drink anything.
Yeah, but what's in it for me? Am I right? Come on.
Yeah.
I could either have a negative experience. I'll take an experience that I don't like over no experience at all if I'm paying for it. But I had a great. Oh wait, sorry. We've got to do the mantle responsibility. I was just about to seg into what I did. No, let's talk about what the Class 1 railroads did, including burning some stuff down, and starting on the 14th of this month. So all of our accidents are really clustered close together. The 14th of this month, there was a. Canadian National. They didn't wreck a train exactly. They suffered a bridge fall down. They had a single-leaf bascule bridge dating from 1908, and it just sort of fell over. I don't really, like, there are no details as to what happened. They let the port know that the waterway was blocked, and they did not elaborate, it sounds like. And, it's just a picture of, like, a bascule bridge that's sort of crumpled. I really want to know what happened here, because just bridge fall down.
Bridge hint.
Yeah. And the problem is that this is blocking, like, a lot of grain traffic.
Yeah.
Like, a lot, apparently. So anyway, they've begun repairs on the bridge. I really wonder what they're going to replace it with, because single-leaf bascule bridges are in short supply these days.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Probably not going to be that.
No. And in the world of Union Pacific, 3 days later, they suffered a little domestic terrorism because somebody derailed a train.
In Klamath Falls.
Yeah, in Klamath Falls, some guy
most
derailed.
average Klamath Falls citizen right there. That's all I'm going to say.
Honestly, this was such a quick. Like, usually when we hear about somebody being arrested, it's a long after the fact. But this is the first time I'm hearing about the incident itself and the charge. The man is accused of trespassing at the rail yard, and honestly, I don't know anyone who would ever
At the
trespass at a
rail
rail
yard.
yard
Yeah.
in Klamath Falls.
No. Nobody would.
Not
Nobody
since
would.
2017.
Not since
Or
2021.
2015. Sorry. 2017 was Pennsylvania Special. Craig David's they just like full on first, middle, and last name this guy. Like, what is this paper? His mom?
Yeah.
Set to appear in federal court, facing charges with wrecking or derailing railroad equipment. So that's the charge right there. If you were curious, what the name of what you're going to get charged with if you do this, it's that's it.
Yeah.
Union Pacific Railroad engineer was driving another locomotive when he saw this person on the tracks and honked a horn to get his attention, and then he saw the man pull a lever that redirected another moving train onto a different track, causing 4 of its cars to derail.
Oh.
Yeah. So don't do that. This man's going to jail, probably for a while.
Yeah.
2 days later, BNSF set some stuff on fire. Actually, this is just a callback to a June wildfire, but now it's being blamed on BN. So,
Damn it, BN.
Yeah, 266 Roseacre fire started by sparks from a welder, grinder, or torch used to cut a section of rail.
Oh.
Yeah. Not great. 200 firefighters worked to control the blaze at cost estimated at $971,000. And if the Drago and Silverton is anything to go by, the BNSF Railroad will be footing that bill, I would imagine.
BN has the money.
They certainly do. Yeah, like, it's not going to hurt them at all.
No. BN will be unaffected by this.
The trout population, though.
Yeah.
We need to go back to UP for our last wreck of the period, which was yesterday, according to the date on the front of this podcast. 2 trains collided in Boulder, Colorado.
Oof.
Yeah.
Was it like a cornfield meet or something? Like
yeah.
What?
Well, actually, sorry, I attributed this to Union Pacific. It's actually a BNSF wreck.
BN is not having a good...
It was BNSF, yeah, no, not having a good time. A rail bridge was destroyed. A small amount of fuel spilled from the locomotive. 2 crew members were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, so it sounds like a rear-end collision.
No one died.
Yeah, no one died, thankfully. They had a hell of a fender bender.
Oof.
Yeah. It looks like one of the...
scheduled crossing.
It looks like one of the war bonnet units was involved in this wreck, which is sad.
It may have been the lead unit.
It doesn't look like it was the lead unit.
Yeah, it did. I can't.
Or
maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Well, maybe if the other train had a rear DPU, it wasn't. But based on my completely amateur forensics, it doesn't look like it. But also, the front end of it is not like obliterated, so.
It's not doing well, but it's...
The door is open.
But...
So that's the equivalent of the shoes falling.
Well, I mean, the nose is a little bit popped out too.
Oh, is it? I couldn't tell looking at that. It didn't look like there was a lot. Like, I would have expected a lot more damage if the war bonnet was the lead unit. But either way, it is not. It is not currently on the train tracks, and that's not. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah. And that bridge is oof.
Yeah, the bridge is oof. So, lots of bridge problems this week.
Yeah.
Bridge adjacent.
Bad week for bridge stock.
Yeah, bad week to be a bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I was so ready to jump into this, and I don't have any photos. I'll have to go find a photo of this. But this past weekend, I got to take a ride on the Delaware Lackawanna.
Oh, cool.
I got to ride shotgun in the high rail truck with Casey. Let's see. What's the best picture from here? Yeah, I got to ride shotgun on the high rail truck with Casey as we led a procession of 20 speeders from the New Jersey rail something group. It was a lot of fun. You know, this is not a place where you typically get to ride in passenger equipment at all, and I had never ridden down the DL, so it gave me a perspective, and it was also just nice to hang out. Like I went and I stayed overnight with her in Scranton. We did this next day, and then I stayed overnight on Saturday night and then drove home on Sunday. I would have stayed because they did the Carbondale main on Sunday. I would have stayed, but I had to get back to Rhode Island in time to check on how well detours were working for a project that I'm not affiliated with, but a project from whom we are going to steal the detour plans when we do something very similar in a couple months. But yeah, I'll show the audience, I guess. It was very neat. We only had like a couple breakdowns from the speeders. And, importantly, we made some stops along the way. I talked to some folks in the Tobihana depot about maybe trading cards. So we might be working on some DL and W cards sooner or later if they decide they want to go with it. I sent a quote to them earlier this weekend. Yeah, if you want to go, you can go to Buffalo or Tirana, or in this case, the Delaware Water Gap. And we stopped in Stroudsburg, and in Stroudsburg they have a switch tower with all the levers still in place, and they're all properly interlocked, too. They don't do anything, obviously, but they're all interlocked, and you can go up there and you can throw levers. And I was happy as a clam. They have one lever that does something, and that's lower a dummy gate next to the tracks, because the crossing gates would have been controlled directly from up in the switch tower, too.
Cool.
It was incredibly cool. It just made me remember what I want to do in Century of Steam. Well, one of the things that I want to do in Century of Steam. Isn't this cute, though?
What up?
Isn't this adorable? I love speeders. I mean, you know, Milky, I wish you could have been there.
Yeah.
It was honestly
great speeder migration.
Yeah, the great speeder migration. We're guarding the flock with the high rail truck. It's also, I think, the first time I've ridden in a high rail truck, which was a different experience. It was surprisingly loud. It's not steel on steel quietness.
No.
Anyway, so that's what I did this past weekend. I've also set up some goals for the completion of this segment of Tolbrand that I'm working on. For those who don't know my big route project, you probably know if you're subscribed to this channel. If not, you should do that. Which involve binning most of the AI and rebuilding staging and setting the railroad up so that it can be so that you can run the whole thing with the segment that you have, and maybe have some AI passenger traffic, or have subroutines that you can give the AI and they'll do some work for you, instead of having a pre-programmed setup. Because I started looking into what the living railroad options are going to be like, and it has occurred to me that honestly I can't compete with that. So I might as well just let N3V cook, and they'll come with a gift for me that is the game that I've always wanted to try and create in trains. So yeah, I want to watch the railroad do its own thing, and if I don't have to spend years of my life setting that up, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. And it wasn't really working anyway, so
yeah, that's a win. I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Yeah, I just hope they like throw their current industry UI in the trash and go back to what they had before, because it's unusable.
Yeah.
Great. I appreciate I appreciate them cooking. It's not been good.
You can't make a 5-star meal every time.
Exactly. Anyway.
CMPS.
Yeah, CMPS. I mean, yeah, MPS. Well, MPS works pretty well when we're not involved.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. Oh well. Someday we'll try again, perhaps.
Geiger 2.
Geiger 2. Yeah, we'll just call it Geiger 2 with no further explanation.
Yeah.
Where's Geiger 1? We don't talk about Geiger 1.
Yeah, it's like Mothman.
TJ gets a second crown to put on top of his first crown. Goes from Mayor of
Mhm.
Geiger to Mayor of Geiger 2.
Yeah. It's like a double stack crown.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
hell yeah.
Double king. What if I see some photos of models. I woke up one morning and I said to myself, I need to gather up every single locomotive I own and send them to Jader and make him letter them for Iron Horseman because I don't use any of my models and that would make me happy.
I'll just bring them back with me from the Big E.
Yes.
My suitcase will be full, but I didn't buy anything.
And yeah, and that'll be a win in multiple levels.
Yes.
I talked about Big E this coming January.
Can you believe it?
If people are around on Monday, I'll probably take that Monday off because I was wiped after last time, and apparently I was super grouchy according to Gloria.
I didn't think you were that bad.
I was pretty wiped, and I said, what if we all went out to a diner on Monday morning for the people that are still around? The Seaplane Diner down in Providence's Tits and Asphalt district, the industrial area with the strip clubs and street running track that isn't used anymore.
Whip.
But Jader, of course, you've got some other projects to work on in the meantime. I see your Rio Grande Ks are coming along.
Yeah, the Rio Grande Ks are finally done. I shipped them out. Come on with my headphones. Okay, it's fine.
They look
Finally
really...
shipped them out yesterday.
Hmm.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I shipped them out yesterday. They're done. They run pretty decently. They're not perfect, but should be fine.
Are they brass?
473 is brass.
Okay.
And then 463 is one of the elusive Blackstone models.
Yeah, I remember. Didn't these come out like within the last couple of years? Or I know Blackstone stuff is always elusive. I just remember Blackstone stuff being like, oh, something's coming on the market. Oh my god, better pre-order it or you're never getting it.
Yeah, it was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, it's a few years ago for me.
Yeah, it's not it's an H213 engine that's not a cantankerous brass import, so that's a W.
I noticed that is it derailed in the picture? It is.
Is it? Oh, I just noticed that.
The trailing truck is off in the picture. Also, I just noticed the re-railing frog is a nice touch. The details.
Yeah. I didn't add that, but yeah.
The detail on this is so great.
What
are you moving on to though? I see a C&O engine. Is this yours or is this?
Yeah. No, this is mine. This is a project that's been sitting in up until like last month. Been sitting in pieces for about a year and a half.
Oh.
But I finally got the motivation to order all the parts, order all the brass detail parts I needed, and actually start putting it together. And last Tuesday, I finally finished it. Well, put everything together where it runs.
Right.
Yes, Cosmos, it's that engine.
Yeah,
it's the boy.
It's awful cool. I love that one.
I love how I can tell the running boards are affixed. Nothing's gonna be perfect.
I just love that one in particular.
That's the one thing I wish I did better is the running boards, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean they're super glued on, and then a bunch of body putty to to fill the gaps and stuff. And if I sand it, I get rid of the tread plate on the walkway.
Yeah,
and I want that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like a very small file might help, but you don't want to damage the other components.
Yeah.
The tender is a really interesting piece. What's going on with the tender?
The tender, it doesn't fit together or it doesn't close quite completely. Like some of the wires push it up slightly, so don't look at it too close in the front. But otherwise, it's the Bachmann tender, like that those came with.
Mm-hmm.
I took like an inch of length out in the middle, and then glued the frame back together, glued the shelf, glued the I guess the tank back together.
Okay, that's really funny. It's you de-limousined it.
Yes.
Hey, you could always just headcanon that the steam engine is a John Ramache restoration, and that'll explain why some of the
So true.
See, and here I thought the low-hanging fruit would just be Wasatch.
That isn't that the guy?
Oh, is
John
that
Ramache
guy?
is
Oh,
Wasatch.
he's Wasatch. Okay, yeah. I don't know by name.
Yeah. Yeah. Although it did have a short that's one of the things that hung me up, because there's like 3 classes of these 280s. One had and they're all Hexhawking Valley. One had economy valves. The other 2 had piston valves. And there's like not very many good photos of the other 2 of the G3 and 4 classes, but then the G5s, which is 701, there's a million pictures of it. Even in Steam days, there's seemingly a million pictures of it because, oh, hey, it lived in Clifton Forge.
Yeah.
There's going to be a million pictures of it because that's where people went, because Alleghenies and shit.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the picture. There it is. Of this with that shorty tender with like, what, 2 or 3 Alleghenies around it and all kinds of other cool shit. Let me see if I can snip it.
Day 73, they have accepted me as one of their own.
Oh, it's so funny seeing this next to Alleghenies. It's like it's the size of the tender, almost. Here it is.
And this thing just carries on. This lucky consolidation perseveres. It just chills under a shed. It's nice that it has a shed. So many of these outdoor locomotives that like vibe in parks and stuff are just out there on their own. Having been to Steamtown in the last week,
yeah,
it's just like, oh man, wish they had a shed.
It looked sad.
They did a good job of baiting it though, even if it was outdoors.
They did. Can confirm. Have seen this engine. The photos I put are my photos of it.
Oh. Oh.
Cool.
Yeah. I keep forgetting you went to go see the thing. On your way to West Virginia.
So yeah, when we went to West Virginia, I flew in from Roanoke, so I got to see some stuff on the way. And this was one thing that was like 2 blocks off of the highway. So I'm like, oh, why not? I'll see it.
So where does it live exactly? Somewhere in Virginia?
Covington.
Yeah, that.
Oh, okay. I was expecting Ohio. And here I was, Milky going, I saw it.
I wish, give it back.
Milky going, I saw it, made me go, Milky, when the hell did you go to Ohio? Just in the back of my brain. But that makes sense, the fact that it's in Virginia.
There's some basic stacks on it.
Yeah,
Actually, there's enough stacks here to make stacks.
Yes! Hold on.
Oh, yeah. I think I don't know if it's on Steam Locomotive.
Well,
it probably is, and it's in Alco.
Damn. Hold on. Does it have length and number of tubes? Doesn't look like it. That's okay. You know what? I have a solution for this. Does anyone have a tape measure?
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I'll go
stick it down one of the tube.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go bug them enough and bring it back to Ohio.
Restore it and run it down the Hawking Valley.
Please, although it probably would. I don't know if it would beat up our track.
Well, do you guys have a bridge? It's been a pretty bad week for bridges.
We have a few bridges.
Uh-oh.
You're in danger.
You guys should let us run 3095 on your railroad. It's such a good idea. It's just a couple of 060s connected together, right? You know, you guys have one of those already.
You know what I really want to see is a 3985 like fording the weeds in the disused section of track between Hawking Valley and the rest of the world. Just like
Oh,
mowing down small trees on the way.
If you think about it, it's just
that'd be
an
funny.
oversized lawnmower.
That'd be fun. I think that track's cleared now, though.
The guys before Ed Dickens
Well,
treated it like
you know
clear,
what they
yeah.
say, Jader. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
Yes.
But you do have one more thing in your list here, Jader, and I see some pieces of metal that make up a Pullman, or will hopefully someday make up a Pullman. Is that right?
Yes, because for long story short, the Rio Grande Ks and then the MPL engine I have been keeping me busy for a while, so I haven't really been able to do much of my own projects. But now that the Ks are out, and I'm basically just waiting to hear anything from ESU about a dead decoder for the MPL engine, finally been able to work on some of my own stuff. So yesterday I decided to start one of the too many Walther's Wood and Metal passenger car kits that I have. I mean, it's like I have too many, but also the math worked out to like $5 a car, less than $5 a car. So
it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and they all had, and because they all came from an estate, and I think this guy owned a hobby shop or something at one point. So they have all the super detail parts, trucks. I mean, I need modern couplers, but that's not a huge deal.
No.
And trucks themselves are like $20. So
yeah.
So I built two of them so far, but this is the first Pullman built. It's a 28-1 parlor car.
Wow.
And that kind of got me thinking. That's kind of why I want to talk about why I want to talk about the Amtrak thing later. It got my brain turning.
There's a solarium in that bunch. That's going to be cool.
There is a solarium. There's everything in there to make a full passenger train except a dining car.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, no snack car.
Craftsman kits. I love Craftsman kits. They're so cool.
Oh, they're so fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is a buffet lounge in there, but
okay.
What's it like to assemble one of those?
I mean, in all honesty, like the boxes all say fun to build. Honestly, they are fun to build. like the instruction, not sponsored.
They say fun to build, and I've never been lied to like that in my life.
You? Like which one of those companies besides Walther's still exists?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, you got Walther's. It's fun to build.
Do they even make Craftsman kits anymore? Like they make plastic Oscar and Piker.
No, but you could go to someone's estate sale.
Yeah. What Walther's, please?
Sponsored by my uncle's estate.
Yeah, it's sponsored by dead foamers everywhere.
Walther's, please sponsor me.
Sponsored by the spirit of John Allen.
But no, in all honesty, they're a lot of fun to build. Like the instructions explain it very well. The scale size drawings really help. For getting things like size, cut to the right length, and getting stuff lined up in approximately the right place.
Mm-hmm.
And then these have either most of the parts that you need, or it's like you can make them. Like just little bits of wire for handrails, or I think the handrails on the side of the car, I'm pretty sure those are staples.
What? Oh, you know what? If it works,
exactly. Like just straight up staples.
It's cheap.
Yeah. That's the other thing I like about these. Like, they're detailed. Well, and they're not like the modern super detailed stuff,
right.
But like they're so well detailed for their time, and they still hold up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like they're charming because they're just so simple.
Yeah.
When I go to a model train swap meet, sometimes like some of those conventions, I've been to a couple. I see those bins of like all the wooden cars that are like $1 or $2 a piece, and it's like I can't resist picking them up if they got Katie's. So I have a collection about 100 of them, and they're all custom. So they're just I haven't tried building one myself, but the ones I have, they're wonderful, and I just love them to bits.
If you have a bunch of them, it'd be really funny to get a bunch of people together and go like, all right, first one to build them, go.
Yeah,
I would, I would love to do that.
Admiral Ellis YouTube challenge instead of the
Yeah.
Mr. Beast one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
we get as many people. This is what we're gonna do with the Big E next year.
I see. Honestly, one of my, well, a person who shall not be named, had that idea like a few years ago, and we never did it. But that was a good idea. Like, just get a bunch of us together, and just have have like a well, he suggested a guys' night, but anybody could do this. But have like a just a like an evening or something, put something on in the background, and just build whatever kits you want.
Yeah.
Anyone can do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bring your dog. Bring your wife. Well.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Well. Oh no. Hear me out. If we could extend the Big E trip by an extra day, we do the Yankee swap. But then if anybody either brought a kit with them or bought a kit at the show, start putting it together. Like TJ, you bought those 2-foot boxcars.
Yeah. Yeah, I finally got a like one of those like mats that like has all the lines and stuff on it. And I just need to get a set of like tweezers or whatever, and then I can finally start putting those together.
Sweet.
We should probably get to some of the other things, as much as I want to hear about the modeling adventures. But Milky and Cosmos both have some stuff written down, and I know Cosmos, your thing will probably dovetail into some shenaniganry. But Milky, what's up with the Great Oregon Steam Up?
Yes. The first. Well, this one's late because time.
Did
but
it really happen?
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
it did. But I was there.
Oh, good.
And that's why I'm talking about it. So for the first weekend, I did our car barn tours at the museum. Great Oregon Steam Up, for those that don't know, is a event at Powerland Heritage Park in Brooks, Oregon, where we get steam tractors people own steam tractors, and they parade around our property. And we're a group of, I think, 15 different museums now.
Cool.
Oh.
Here's my toy trolley. Here's my real trolley.
Yes.
There's your toy cable car and your real trolley. I think that's a cable car? Is that an actual trolley? Hang on.
Okay.
Wait a minute, there's an even smaller one next to it.
Oh, wow, I just noticed that.
The small XO model is a model of the car behind it.
Wait, the windows are wrong. Or is that the back?
Kind of, but okay. So the 13 was converted from narrow gauge to standard, and the car that I have a model of was the Yakima car that Portland Traction bought secondhand.
Okay.
And the only difference is the windows and the front end. On the Yakima cars, they were more squared off, as opposed to Portland, which made them more round to prevent people from riding on the front of the car.
Oh my god.
Because that happened.
This is riding on the front of the car. Guys, there's a person right there who's going to tell you not to.
Yes. It did happen.
And he has the power of electricity.
Yeah. Exactly. And I bought a couple of models too. Some frat cars, SP boosts, and some SP and FAs. A B A set. Which was pretty reasonably priced.
Oh, were they selling stuff at the show there?
Yeah.
Cool. The SPNS the FA
yeah.
set. That's a pretty cool find. Are they just DC for now.
Yeah, they're DC. One of them's powered and they're two dummies.
Oh.
And that sent me back 125, which I thought was reasonable for a trio of them.
It's kind of a bummer that you have two dummies.
I mean, I have a Walters powered one too. So
okay.
So if I ever DCC them, I can run a AB or B A.
Yeah, just 3 A's.
Yeah. So that's all that I got from that.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
I've paid a couple visits to the New England Wireless and Steam Museum as of late, mostly to discuss wedding-related things. But I always hang around because the guy who I guess is in charge, his name is Randy, and he's always like there's usually like 1 or 2 people there because they're open on the like every Saturday now in the summer for a few hours, as opposed to 1 day of the year. And he's always showing some people around and turning some of the engines on. They've got an air compressor to run stuff. It's neat. I love steam ups. We also have an article for incidentally, if anyone has ever seen the regular car reviews goes to like a Steam show or whatever video, that is oh shoot, what is the name of the place? We have an article for that somewhere. I can't find it, but we have an article for that.
Isn't it? Don't Rough and Tumble?
Yeah, it's Rough and Tumble. Okay, hold on. I swear to God, we have an article for it. But it might have gotten accidentally canned. But that's coming up. Their show is coming up. Anyway, so what's going on up? So just to say, because we didn't get to do it properly at the beginning, I should have said, Cosmos, a little bit about yourself or whatever. But you're a member of the RRHMA.
Yes, I am. I'm one of the younger volunteers there, if not the youngest, as far as I know.
Yeah, and you've always got some interesting stuff going on up there.
Very secret stuff, but
very
yes,
very secret stuff. No, obviously there are things that you cannot talk. There are plans that they can't share with us right now because the haters will sabotage them.
Yes.
But
this is why we're very restrictive with our photo policy on Facebook. Like, we have every time we want to share a photo with the people, we got to run it by the quality control to make sure that everything in it is appropriate for an audience. And it's very smart the way of handling it is, because haters gonna hate, and we don't want people nitpicking things and saying, "Oh, you're doing it wrong" from just a photo, because y'all know how Facebook is. It's crazy.
Yep.
You guys did have a fairly active YouTube presence for a while there. Do you still?
Not as far as I know, but if I have the time, maybe I'll get around to asking if I can do some stuff with that.
That would be pretty cool.
That's just if I ask the right people and if it happens. But fingers crossed.
Before we launch into the very public thing that is difficult to hide because large pieces are large, big pieces of metal are large. I had Rough and Tumble in my head, but what I read was Roots, which is in Willits, California. Roots of Motive Power. That's the event that's coming up. That I was thinking Rough and Tumble, but it's actually Roots. I put the link to that in the cargoes as well. But at any rate, so tell us about. I don't exactly know how to describe this. The turntable shuffle.
The glorious turntable shuffle. So, I guess I can explain a little bit about the donation process and everything here and give an interesting story as far as I know. So, because I'm an amateur, I don't know everything, so don't take everything I say as fact, because I'm smart enough to know that I'm stupid, okay?
They're not paying you enough to know everything.
They don't pay me at all to know everything, but I'm sitting around and learning, and that's the best I can do, right? So, As far as I know, CPKC gave us a turntable, and that was our original plan to, build a roundhouse around it. But then, because we're on good terms with basically every Class 1, and because the railroad we're part of the network of, Iowa Interstate, our museum is on their grounds, we're right connected right up to the Silvis Yard that they have. The thing about it is, we're good friends with every Class 1, essentially, and BNSF has given us our crappy GE that I love. I love 537. It's my favorite thing. It's what I got my first job cleaning up. I did the cab of that thing. And, to sum it up, we got the turntable from CPKC, and then BNSF was like, hey, we have this really big turntable, big enough to turn the big boy. And, obviously, we accepted that donation. And how donations typically go is you don't want the organization to steal the thunder of, the BNSF donating the turntable, right? So you got to let BNSF make their announcement first, and then we make our announcement after they do it. That way BNSF gets the attention, and, it's a mutually beneficial agreement, right? So that's why we were secretive about it. And the other turntable we have, the one that CPKC originally gave to us, is going to a good home at TVRM now, which is public information. And, knowing about this a week in advance, it's always fun to hear this stuff, but at the same time, it's kind of difficult knowing what you can and can't share, because they will kill you if you share the wrong thing or say the wrong thing.
Yeah, you can't be a blabber. Not being a blabbermouth in railroading preservation is a huge skill.
Absolutely, yes.
And every time someone people that are in the know, right? Even when it's just like, hey, between you and me, this cool thing is happening. I'm like, stop! Don't tell me. I don't need to know. I'll find out when the press finds out.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because one person tells one person tells one person, and suddenly the whole world knows. But yeah, you guys have done the turntable shuffle. TVRM got a turntable off of you, which is an uncommon Tennessee W.
Uncommon Tennessee W, which is regrettable, but yeah.
I don't want to steal, because I'm sure at some point we'll have Dean on to talk about this. But the common Tennessee L is that their trolley network in Memphis is just shut down completely, and all the people are laid off. Like I said last time we talked about this, I know this is a tangent. Like I said last time we talked about this, that's because they weren't taking themselves seriously. They just bought like a bunch of random vintage trolleys and expected to run a competent system with like 4 things and no compatible parts between them.
What's that sort of Topham Hat image of saying that's a hell of a way to run a railroad?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Memphis, if you want somewhere to store them, that will run them. Call me.
Milky's backyard.
So, I guess I can give a little history on this turntable if you guys want.
Yeah.
Because there's some interesting preservation history of itself. This turntable is the largest of its kind in preservation, because the one that's in Cheyenne for the big boy, that's of a similar size. Yeah, that's still active service. So...
Oh my god, it's never been retired. Yeah. It's just like 844.
It's the living legend of spinning.
Can we get a living legend sign for the turntable?
Oh my god. Yeah, this is just this is the greatest thing ever. Here's an image of it turning a very interesting 484 that totally still exists. Oh, that's not the one that got cut up by Dick Jensen, but this is the one that, was turning his engine. This one turned 4960 and 5632 when they were still owned by the Burlington. So
Neat.
That's cool. Yeah, it's got excursion history back into the Steam era. So
wait,
it's a cool table.
I have a question.
Yeah? Your question?
What the hell is with the bridge up on blocks in the background?
Wait, what?
It's a really bad day for bridges. Just directly next to the roundhouse, there's an effing
they're probably doing shop work on the bridge.
What?
I don't know. They obviously put the thing on flat cars, brought it to the shop, and are doing the work there because they got the tools for it. As stupid as that sounds, it makes sense, right?
Well, no, it does not. We're not going out and taking a bridge and bringing it back to the shop.
Well,
they probably stole that bridge. They must have stolen that bridge. That bridge belongs to a rival railroad.
They stole it from the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad Company.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad Company, we might need to talk about that later. Oh no.
It's like
We bring the bridges to you.
Yeah. In communist Iowa, known for its glorious QJ and JS.
and also and of course A-class.
And of course A-class, yes. The restore it and run it at Silvis. Yeah, that's
Mango gobbles.
so,
But yeah,
maybe I can talk about this on the podcast. I don't think it's really that pertinent to what we're doing at our organization. But in our yard office, we do have the Hooters Girl 3095 on a flag. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys are happy to know that. We are very based individuals at RHMA.
I can't believe they stole a bridge. Yeah, pick that bridge up and bring it into the shop. Maybe CN could learn a thing or two from this.
Yeah.
God,
It's a bad day to be a bridge.
It's a great day to be a turntable.
Yeah, turntable bridge, Illuminati sounds.
I'm pretty sure that's what our last bridge was. It was a turntable. Wait, no, I got it screwed up. Sorry, our last turntable was a bridge.
I
it was
mean,
like a girder bridge that they turn into a table. I think.
I mean, every turntable is a bridge.
I mean, on the P&W, on the Toledo branch, I think one of their quote-unquote girder bridges is actually the Krenna turntable from the Oregon Pacific.
Never underestimate short lines to turn like anything into a bridge. A flat car, a turntable.
Yeah. It was SP that did that, but yeah.
What is SP if not a really large short line?
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean,
True.
you're not wrong.
Which is like me for real.
If we're talking SP, there's a ton of NRE equipment at Silva still, because they're still trying to move out. And we got the porch. The porch still exists, y'all.
The porch.
Like, this is NRE 9402.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you know
I need a
of
picture of this. Can I have a picture?
So, to sum it up, because Silvis is a great shop that's very capable.
Oh, no.
The porch.
Okay, yeah, it's got a lot of back porch.
This is a cotton belt SD45 T-2
that
has the long hood off of a Southern SD40-2. And it is classified as an SD40-2 rebuild B unit. Because it's a B unit, apparently. Look at the cab. It says B unit on it.
But it has windows.
Yes.
It also has a cab, importantly.
No, but look, it's obviously a B unit. It says so on it. Do not occupy.
Do not occupy.
Mm-hmm. They only ever use this thing as a mid-train helper.
This is what happens when you don't maintain your toilets. The cabs are unoccupiable.
Yeah.
Norfolk Southern would like to know your location.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to know what's in that thing.
Oh,
but
okay.
I did see it. It's in the bay, or next to the bay where 6988 was, where before it got shipped to God knows where. But
it's actually you can't go in it. There's a video game style invisible wall.
Oh yeah, like it's like
you,
Gary's mod Skybox.
Yeah, I was gonna say you go up and like you touch the door handle and it just makes like the Half-Life 2 sound at you.
Oh great.
It's like you can't open that.
No.
Anyway, we are way over time for the segment. It's been way too much fun, but way over time for the segment. It's time for
Hold on.
Locomotive Versus.
Yes.
You're the guy blasting.
Here's my Chicago Northwestern segue. Yeah.
Fuck you, Chicago Northwestern Railroad Company.
All right, hold on. Let me get a photo of. Let me get this photo of 1015 looking not so sad with a child for scale.
Excellent.
Hold on, I'm trying to shrink it down to the right size so I can actually fit it in frame.
That kid's like half the size of the drivers.
He is in fact a small child, and those are in fact big wheels. But we have big wheels versus big wheels. In the other corner we have so sorry. This is a Chicago and Northwestern Railroad Company number 1015, which is a D class Atlantic.
Stupid D.
And in the other corner we have the Boston and Maine 3220, which is a 1J. Hold on, I have it written down. That's not the right. It's a J1A class, so not to be confused with the New York Central.
It's the Hudson's granddad.
Yeah. I'm not sure how contemporaneous. I forgot. I need to actually pull up the things here. I take it you're going to represent 1015 Cosmos?
Yes, I will restore it and run it on the main line.
Okay, Godspeed. I'm going to represent 3220. Now, this is me representing a B&M locomotive that is not the gigantic Pacific. So this is going to be interesting. I really don't know what I'm getting into here. I just found a B&M Pacific to square off against this thing with. I thought it might have been a little contemporaneous and maybe a fair fight. I have no idea, though.
It
also,
looks like they were built around the same time.
Yeah.
I just noticed how close together your front wheels are. Like your lead truck is a little stubby. Maybe it's the angle, but it looks stubbier than average.
Well, if you think about it, the whole steam chest block is raised higher up on the frame because the drivers are so big, so you're able to fit a shorter pilot truck in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not anything wrong with that. It's just looks kind of goofy. Yeah. Anyway, all right. To my three judges then. What? Who's going first? Myself or Cosmos?
The D.
The D.
Oh, looks like that means I'm going first.
Jader is here for the D.
It's so.
Let's see here.
It's so
3 photos of
dumb.
It is quite dumb.
I enjoy this.
I was really wondering what adjective you were going to say there, because you could have gone with a lot of things.
This one sparks joy. One of these sparks joy. One of these does not.
Oh, come on.
I mean, they both spark joy for me, but in different ways.
All right, what's your first stat call?
I just need to figure out which one of these 1015 is, because there are 5 Atlantics on the CNW, and I can't tell if it's a standard D, a late D, or a superheated D. So it's a very stupid D. I'm assuming it's not the wall shirt one.
If you, I would help you, but I don't want to look at the stat sheet.
I guess I will pick.
I would pick the one where it's in the correct number sequence. Hey, look, there's a train going by.
Well,
finally.
that's the thing. It has no numbers.
Damn.
This page of SteamLocomotive.com has no numbers, so.
I don't know. Just pick the one that you think is right. Pick the one
that's the number's not. Okay. I think it's the superheated D, so that's why it'd have piston valves, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, superheated D. Let's go for
the super
there's
D.
no axle loading stats.
It's okay. You don't need axle. Well, we can.
Fair enough.
If we need to do axle loading, we can do the math to get min axle loading. It'll be close enough.
If we're going for Atlantics, then I'm gonna do a driver diameter face-off.
Okay, driver. I bet they're gonna be the same size. Ooh, mine's actually not normal. I guess it's not what I expected. I have. Oh wait, sorry, I misread. I have 79-inch drivers. You?
81-inch drivers.
You have 81-inch drivers?
Wow.
81.
That's
drivers.
big. That's
these are some very large drivers for a very stupid engine.
That's no wonder that child looks so small. Okay. What else have you got? What's your next stat call then? Because you won that one.
Ooh. Let's see here.
You went with a risk and it paid off, but.
Oh man.
Honestly, if I see above 80 on a stat sheet for driver diameter, I'm calling that post haste. So I don't blame you at all.
Factor of adhesion.
Ooh.
Factor of adhesion 4.17.
4.47.
Okay, that's not good. 4.17 is also not stellar, but it's pretty decent. So I'll take that.
It's better. Yeah. I'll go ahead.
I'm going to do something completely antithetical to the Atlantic as a wheel arrangement, and I just noticed something. Don't worry about it.
Tractive effort.
Yeah, I'm going to say tractive effort. What's your tractive effort?
Oh my god. 21,827
Oh, damn it.
Is this more powerful than yours?
21,751.
Are you kidding me?
By a
Your thing
nose.
is modernized,
By a
and it
nose.
has better valve gear and everything. And you still got beat by the Stephenson's Atlantic.
Hold on, you're gonna learn some things about this later. That might answer some questions.
Okay, yeah, so I win that one.
Yeah, you win that one.
Of course, the one with the bigger drivers has better tractive effort, of course.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense, but sure, here we
are. If we're gonna go with a higher tractive effort, then what about boiler pressure?
Oh, you son of a gun! I was hoping you wouldn't call that. Actually, mine's not bad, but it's not good. 200.
Mine's 200 as well.
Okay, cool. I'll take the tie. I'll take the initiative back.
That's a fair tie.
I'm here for
it. Would you like to do the next one, or would you like me to?
No. It goes off of who wins, and a tie just changes who has the initiative. So
yeah.
So now it's mine. Actually.
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, roll for initiative. You know what? I'll get this one out of the way. Valve gear.
Oh, come on, you win. Stevenson's.
Wall shirts. I'll take it. Okay, it's 2-2.
And I would admit I'd hate to work on Stevenson's. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's down there. I was really happy to find the Romanian 080 that we threw into the most recent trading card batch that had outside Stevenson. It's so neat. It's a vibe. Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
Evaporative.
It's at the bottom of heating ability.
Oh, 230.05.
Ooh, 315.02. Mine is outrageously good.
Yeah, for an Atlantic, respect for that, because they modernized that thing. I'm just shocked mine's holding up in some aspects.
Yeah. Let's see. You know what? What is your... This might shoot me in the foot, but I'm curious. What is your driver wheelbase?
Driver wheelbase?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about the bigger drivers, you'd have them further apart, so...
Maybe.
Driver wheelbase. 7 foot exact.
Are you kidding me?
7 foot exact.
7 foot exact.
Oh, wow.
We tie. All right,
tie.
You're up.
So does that mean that we both get a point from that?
No, nobody gets a point. It's just your turn.
Fair enough. Okay, my turn. So how do you rank builders? Do you go from uniqueness, or
no? It's broadly done by quantity.
Number in class.
Number in class. But there is like a whole long list on the rules sheet that Tyler poured hours of his time into. Number in class, 41.
74.
Okay, I saw 41 and I wanted to call it, and then I realized that that's not altogether that good. So you can take that point. It's 3-3.
I'll take that point. I can't believe they built 74 of these things. No wonder one survives.
Yeah, they built 41 of these and we got none of them. B&M did not do a good job of keeping their steam around.
If I called the railroad, would you go by the letter of the number of letters?
No, you cannot call the railroad, you son of a gun.
Well, you see, the CNMW is a lot cooler than the B&M, so I'll give you the point. Just kidding.
I will fight you.
Engine wheelbase.
Engine wheelbase. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. 26.33.
26.75.
Ooh, yay, I'm slightly shorter. Okay, I'll take that.
Does that mean you win?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm slightly more nimble, I suppose.
Nimbleness, I'll give you that. Maybe it's counting in the outrageously long pilot that the thing had when it was built.
I mean, I hope not. It's supposed to be just wheelbase. Okay, actually, speaking of wheelbase, what is your overall wheelbase?
58.62.
54.08. All right, I'll take that. It's 5-3.
You're a solid 4 inches longer. Okay.
Yeah. I'm 4 feet shorter.
4 feet. Well, my question is, why do you have? Well, no, actually, you have a bigger wheelbase and smaller drivers. That's weird.
No, I have a smaller wheelbase. Oh, what was yours again?
I mean, like you have.
Yeah, we
have
have
smaller
the
drivers
same...
and a larger. Wait. Oh, am I just misunderstanding?
No, you had a larger wheelbase and larger drivers.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So you get that point.
What is your? I'm really curious. I'm curious about so many things, but I know I'm gonna get beaten up at some point. I should just go with what I think I have a good shot in. For example, tubes, number and diameter.
Oh dear. Tubes, number and diameter. 173 and the dash and 2.
Okay,
2 inches.
173 2-inch tubes. I have 326 2-inch tubes.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
diameter? You must have had a really big boiler then.
I guess I'm imagining they really packed them in there. It's not like if you've seen the most recent episode of Well, There's Your Problem, they show what the steam boilers look like, just 2 giant tubes.
Fair enough.
Not like that. Actually, speaking of which, what is your evaporative heating surface?
2,174.
2,895. Okay.
Yeah, you just have a better boiler.
Maybe.
Which is because modernized, yeah.
7 to 3. What can I do? You keep saying modernized. We'll get to that
from the photo. Like,
one
photo I'm seeing of this thing. Looks, yeah.
What is? You look kind of chunky too. What is your engine weight?
Engine weight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. 181,500 pounds.
Ooh, that's really close, but I'll take it. 178,600 pounds.
Wow,
okay.
You're lighter and have better boiler.
I am lighter, but I'm weaker though. I do have a less tractive effort, so I don't have that going for me. What is your? I look like I have a smaller tender too. What is your tender loaded weight?
144,000.
Oh my god. Yeah, mine is 57,500.
Jeez.
I have half the tender you have. Don't think about that at all.
Well, I mean, if you're considering in the fact that yours is like a commuter engine that can be, filled up with coal or water often, and then this is something that'd be going across the plains for longer distances. Bigger tender makes more sense, right?
It does make more sense. What is your total engine and tender weight?
325,500.
Oh, yeah, 236,100. This thing is fleeter than I expected. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm certain about. I should probably just keep hammering weight stats so that I don't get people yelling at me in the comments for throwing. What is your minimum weight of rail?
81 pound.
76 pounds. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yours is just a lot more nimble.
3 to 11. 3 to 11. What else can I do? That should say good things about my weight on drivers. What's your weight on drivers?
Weight on drivers. 97,500 pounds.
Yeah, I have an even 90,600 pounds. So it's not actually even, but it's even enough. It's 12 to 3. I still have to pull 5 points out of somewhere in order to go to style points like this. This is not going well. No, that won't help me. Wait, will it help me? This is going to be make or break. Either I'm going to run away with it, or you're going to be able to catch up in no small part. What is your firebox area?
199 square feet.
Oops.
For you or for me?
176 square feet.
Oh, fair enough.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
That isn't even what I wanted to call. I said the wrong thing, and now now ball's in your court.
Well, let's think here. Great area.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to call. I think I'm in danger though. 41.75.
46.27.
Yup. Okay. Well, the weight has to come from somewhere. 5 to 12.
Yeah. So that extra weight's in my firebox. So okay. It's just a little bit fat in the back end. Let's see here. What smart things can I call? High pressure cylinders.
Oh no. I was worried about this, especially with my. Yeah. Okay. 19 by 28.
20 by 26.
Oh, we got to do math. Okay. You see on the document where it says local royale in the blue?
Yeah.
Go into there. We have a calculator. Diameter, stroke, and number of cylinders. I'll use the bottom row. Which we all have two. We both have 2 cylinders, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
19
I
by
don't think
28
that-
and 2 cylinders.
Mine is 20.
You win.
I think I win.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Damn.
better.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. The diameter beats out the 2 inches of stroke. Okay.
Yeah, which makes sense because I have better tractive effort.
Mm-hmm.
So
all
this
right.
is making me wonder if like you have better, maintaining of your steam, because mine just might blow it all out its bigger cylinders and tractive effort and not be able to keep up with it as much.
Generally, I find that evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume is a good measure of whether something is reasonably free steaming or not. And because of the fact that mine is much, much higher than yours, I would imagine that that hypothesis is correct. 315.02 on a simple locomotive, non-compound, is a really good number. Like, really good. Anyway,
Okay.
it is 6 to 12. You've got 2 points until you can go to style points if you so decide. But you do have to get 2 more points before anything else happens.
So I just want to know what would happen. I know I asked this already. What is, like, if I called builder, what would be the better one?
So
Baldwin.
yeah,
Baldwin,
Baldwin.
yeah.
It like I'm not going to read out the whole list, of course, because it goes on and on and on. But it's like Baldwin and Alco, and then some other, like 1 or 2 other things, and then Lima, and then it goes down the list from there. And shop-built stuff is towards the bottom, usually.
Oh, fair enough, yeah, because mine is shop built, so there you go.
Well, you shouldn't have told me that.
Hey, listen, you get the point. You get the point for that, if you want to call it.
If I get to call it again. If I get to call it again.
Which is why I'm looking through this stuff and thinking, so... Superheating surface.
No!
Is this your weakness?
Yeah, because I have
You're
none.
saturated?
I have none. 0.
What?
Goose egg.
Oh,
Hell.
yeah, that's why you were saying you weren't modernized. You're a fraud. You're a fraud.
Hell.
I
You have
am
no
a fraud.
superheating. Hey,
All right, how
Hell.
much?
Yo,
439.
Oh no. Would you say 439?
Yep.
I mean, not a lot, but way better than 0.
Oh no, okay. Now I just gotta go find some superheating stats, if there are some. Because I'm not really used to looking through this stuff.
I mean, I won't tell you, but somebody else could.
Smart people who aren't Ellis in the call. I need your help.
You've got.
With this information, what would you guys call?
There's one. It's a shame you don't have any of the perennial locomotive, like Royale players in here. Milky Moonlights, and Jader just plays reverses in here.
Ooh. Combined heating surface.
Oh no! See, I didn't call that one because I knew it would have given away the fact that I didn't have a superheater. I think I might actually still win though. 28.95.
Yeah, you still win. So there you go. Take it. Call the builder and get the point.
What is yours though?
2,613.
Okay, you do have a superheater though. All right, it's 8 to 12. That's actually 20. That's enough to go to style points. But yeah, I think I'll stretch this lead out a little bit so that I don't get thunked because, well, on the one hand, I don't survive.
Right.
There is no other hand.
You might get beat with style points.
Yeah. Who built you?
The shops of the CNNW, but they made 74 of them to the design of a Schenectady engine.
Neat. Mine is from Alco.
So
it doesn't say which one,
Alco.
but
yeah.
You're designed by Alco. You still got built by Big
still
Bill
built
Hells
by the shops. So fair enough.
But I don't know
yeah.
which Alco. I don't see a Schenectady plate on in this photo. I think it may have been Schenectady according to the article, according to where I pulled this picture from.
I think 1015 is one of the early ones built by Schenectady, actually, and then it was rebuilt by the shops.
Well, if you're heavily rebuilt, like the Loco Base page will reclassify stuff as shop build if it gets a really heavy rebuild by the shops.
So it was a really heavy rebuild because it says that the superheated ones, which were taken from the original Ds, I think. they superheated them after the fact and gave some of them wall shirts. So
Well, this isn't
I
one
don't
of
know what
those
to say
lucky
about
fellas
that.
that got wall shirts.
Yeah, it's fascinating this thing still even exists. So, I'll take that as a
It's neat.
Schenectady build.
Alright, let me see. Yeah, let me give myself the point there. Or
Hmm.
nope, I gave it to you instead.
I'd take it.
No, no, it's a 13 to 8. I need to see if there's anything else I feel like I can confidently win in, before we go to we got to go through judge's choice to get there. So I don't think it's worth me throwing up a gamble and then losing it. So I'm gonna just go to style
Don't
points.
be me.
Take the 13 to 8, and let's go gambling. No, so
Let's go gambling.
each of the three judges here, you guys get to pick one stat that hasn't been called for us to call.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Did we do year?
No, I mean yeah, we definitely did that. You don't need to.
Did we
When
do
were-
year?
No,
It's
we didn't do that.
Yeah,
Mine is.
fair
Hold
enough.
on, I need to actually go back because it says
When was yours built?
the number that it says on the page is not accurate for this.
You should be asking when was it rebuilt.
Yeah, well, mine was not. Hold on.
Because
Yours was delivered like that?
because it'd be going off of the superhit one. You should be going off of the rebuild date.
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. What's the rebuild date for you?
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
No,
What?
it's blank. It's blank.
Okay,
I guess
well, then
that
I
means
guess-
that they
I
were
guess-
rebuilt after.
Hold up, I'm gonna cook.
Okay,
If
Milky,
you could figure out when it was
Milky, you can
rebuilt.
cook. I'm cooking. Mine was. This is. I want to tell everyone the caption for this photo. J1A 3220 was built by Schenectady. Oh, so it was Schenectady in 1908 and scrapped in 1908. Photo taken Boston.
Excellent.
Photo taken Boston, May 30th, 1922.
It blew up,
It
obviously.
was scrapped and then persisted.
Kaboom.
Yeah, fair enough. So, it was built a solid 8 years after mine. But that was the build date of mine in 1900, and I don't know when mine was rebuilt. So,
Well, I would imagine it was rebuilt after 1908.
so would that make mine better? Or
I guess so. If Milky can find a date,
the CNW works in mysterious ways.
yeah, they sure do.
They do, especially when your fictional railroad owns them.
But because
Yeah.
because the statute is blank, Jader, can you call something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Water capacity.
No.
Ooh, water capacity. I'll take that.
No.
Yeah, because my tender's bigger, so that means that, wait, hang on. 300, wait, no. 7,500 gallons.
All right. 5,000 gallons.
I guess I win that.
You definitely win that handily.
Rookie
Okay.
numbers.
All right. Whoops. There we go.
What about did we do Ellis Tamilia's power computation?
Weight computation, you mean?
Yep.
All right. We did not. Let's break out. We actually have to use an actual calculator for this. This is weight on drivers divided by engine weight. So I'm going to take my weight on drivers, divide by engine weight, which is 800, and you should get a number between 0 and 1. So a decimal of some kind. Mine is
so like weight on drivers divided by engine weight.
Yep,
Okay.
weight on drivers divided by engine weight. Mine is, and round to the second decimal point, so 0.51 for me. I was curious about this, I just didn't want to do math.
0.54.
Okay, that's better. That's way better than mine.
Mine's better? Okay.
Yeah, yours is better. Alright, Milky, do you want to call one?
Tender fuel capacity.
Tender fuel. You guys really are you got it in for me, eh? Tender fuel capacity. Surprisingly, I can fit 12 tons of coal in this.
That's better than mine. I can fit 10 tons. I guess I have more water than
Yeah,
yours.
looking at the way the bunker is shaped, you do not have a lot of coal space in there. My tender's a lot of coal. I would imagine they piled it high on this. Um,
Yeah.
I just noticed something that I have, which you are behind, so I'll let you do some style points first. It's 11 to 13, so you can get 3 in, and then I'll do 1. Or
Ooh.
well, you get 2 in, and then we'll go back and forth like that.
I have a builder's photo of 1015, so it was delivered with a Russian iron boiler jacket or something like American metal. So it's got that cool boiler jacket.
Looks really cool. However,
you
did the rebuild version.
Yeah,
of it.
this is a moment in time. So you're
That's
gonna be taking it in this configuration. So sadly, no Russian boiler jacket.
That'd be like me taking the M6 when they had the funny headlight on it.
Makes sense. Let's see here. Find a photo of 1015.
I can't help but notice that even in this like not quite as sad photo, there's still stuff growing out of the top of the boiler.
Yeah, it's definitely not very stylish, but it still exists. So I'd like to give that.
Yep, you get the point for surviving.
Yeah.
Barely surviving, if I might add.
Well,
the inclined cylinders, those are weird. But they look kind of cool.
We both have. That would just get you the piston valves. We both have piston valves. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a little weird, but it's not a style thing. It's just because they were linking Stevenson to piston valves.
Yeah.
What else have you got?
Oof, that cab.
What's wrong with the cab?
The story about the cab is interesting because I told you guys.
Well, not only the
oof. I think something got dropped on its cab while it was at St. Louis.
Oh no!
Oh.
Yeah, I think that crane is actually responsible for it. Don't quote me on that.
That crane is there stalking its prey.
I think it had. Did it ever have white walls at a point? Because I'm looking at those tender truck wheels, and then it looks like it has white on them.
Let's say look at it in this configuration, which I can't actually see anything that jumps out at me as being better.
It had a red cab roof.
A red cab roof? Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. I don't actually know what the heck I have. Oh wait, I know what I have. This is an incredibly goofy style point.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own pole.
Your own pole on the tender.
I bring my own pole for polling.
Mine has the hook for poles on it on the side of it.
Oh, okay. Then okay. You've got the apparatus. So I don't get a point for that. We also neither of us have polling pockets. So that's incredibly sus.
With an Atlantic? Well, I mean, hey, at least it's OSHA compliant. What are you gonna pull with the Atlantic, right? Can I get myself a negative style point? Because I want a negative style point because St. Louis let the Italians destroy its pilot beam.
No, first of all, that's rude to me.
No.
Look, there you go. They shoved the Italian electric into it.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
This thing has been so beat up and maligned. This poor thing. I don't even want to beat it. I mean, I'm going to, but I don't want to.
Here's a physical model of it.
Oh, you got a physical model? Is this a
museum?
There you go. That's
Is this a mass-produced model, or is it just something someone made?
That's a good question.
Great question. I have no.
I'm pretty sure there were brass imports of these ones made.
Okay.
So...
Well, then you're up 14 to 13.
That's a point. Cool.
Yeah, okay. Having a mass-produced model is a point.
Yeah, Ten Shoto made them. They're available on eBay.
We both have
on the bay.
We both have forward cab doors. I have. Yeah. We both have a set of. Ooh, I have lighted number boards, and you do not.
Fair enough. Well,
I don't know why you wouldn't, but you don't.
Well, I mean, it's the CNW.
What the hell? Okay, I found something funny, but really kind of related to this.
I think
in a adjacent kind of way. CNW 113.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah,
that's one of the deadline photos.
No. We found another one. All right, this needs to go in the thread. Okay, please wake up the thread and put this in it.
I will.
For the Oops All 113 trading card patch sometime in the distant future. We are 14 to 14. Is there anything else I can pull up? We can't let another one of these end in a tie.
That one has polling pockets on it.
What, 113?
Yeah, I think...
That's because 113s are a menace.
It makes me wonder if the pilot beam on 1015 was swapped out when it was donated to St. Louis, and it actually wore polling pockets in service.
I mean, maybe did any of the other pictures depicted having polling pockets?
That's what
I'm not seeing it.
I don't think there are any in-service photos of 1015.
No, you just got your builder's photo here, in which case it does not have polling pockets.
Yeah, and we want photos of the rebuilt one, don't we?
Yeah.
Wait, do you think it was renumbered?
I don't know what else to call. I don't want this to end as a gosh darn. Okay, I'll have to put it to the judges because I don't know. Do I get the safety point for having the railings that come all the way down?
I think hysterically we've given that.
I think it's fair for you to take that.
I give Ellis the railing.
Yeah,
point.
I'm pretty sure that we've done it before.
Okay.
You have a single stage air pump. I have a cross compound.
I was
Like,
hoping you wouldn't notice that.
Like in terms of
you single stage
service.
pump. You go pew 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 pew. I go foo foo foo. Yeah, you see difference.
All right, you got that. So we're back to 1515 then. Son of a gun.
Did you get a point for the train number? Is that what that is on the headlight?
Honestly, I was no. The numbers are etched onto the front of the headlight.
Oh, what the hell?
And yeah,
That's L&N. Yeah.
I meant to ask about that. Do you guys want to? Are the judges in agreement?
Cool.
Can I get a point for that?
Can I agree for that too?
Yeah, you can.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
The BNF did it very occasionally.
I've only seen it on L&N engines.
Did 3666 have that?
Yeah.
That would be.
Wait. Oh.
I don't think so, but that would be really interesting.
That's the. Wait. Oh, that's the train number.
The Sunquan.
No, it's a. It is the train number. Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's 131.
That's. I give it that.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
actually. I didn't even realize. I thought it was just a locomotive number.
So wait, did they permanently assign these things to a specific train?
No, it looks like it has a hanger. Like you could take that off of the front of the light.
You hang the numbers on the headlight. That's
That
cool.
makes sense.
That deserves.
Yeah.
That deserves.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that.
So here's
That's really
something
neat.
interesting though. How come it's numbered 5220 and on the
3220.
headlight?
I think that is a really messed up 3.
Yeah, it's just a 3. It's
it's
a
like
3 with weird shadows.
Yeah.
That's weird, but cool.
Is there a picture of 3666? And there's 3660. There's 3667. This website doesn't have a picture of 3666. And these locomotives, none of the Pacifics have the headlight number, train number on them. I think it might have been just reserved for some commuter services or something.
That makes sense.
Where I imagine you might have the opportunity to get confused about which train to get on.
Time for me to make a case here. B&M engines are kind of strange when they have a single headlight in the middle because they don't have that forward plate for the number plate. Would that count as a style point because they're just bracketed to the smoke box?
I got the number plate up here. No, but you know what your headlight does have? And I don't want to give, I don't want this to end at a tie, but we should probably end this sooner or later, and you should probably get the point for the headlight visor.
It's the visor.
So it's 16 to 16, son of a gun. How do I break this tie? No!
He's smiling at you.
No,
How can you not
smiling handrail out of here. I need to know, and I don't know if this is something that I deserve to get. And because only Tyler would be able to tell me for sure. Do I get a point for my tender trucks, or does he get a point for not having my tender trucks?
What?
Box trucks. They're kind of weird, but they're cool. It's the tender truck equivalent of having Vauquelin compounding. They're really weird, but they're cool, and they're such a turn of the century thing.
Oh, they're old. Uh-oh. That doesn't bode well for me.
They are old. They're very old,
Okay.
and they're pressed steel or something.
Okay, in that case, I think I'll have to relinquish that point, and we can end this 17-16, not in a tie.
Yeah.
I give Cosmos the point.
You guys are letting the St. Louis thing win?
Yeah, well, Aren't you excited?
Oh, come on, and some alternate universe,
I didn't
right?
think I'd get this far.
Wait, it has a. Did you get a cast front truck point, Ellis? Isn't that we've done that, haven't we?
I think we
Oh.
both have that.
We both have that.
No.
Well, I'm
Spoke
still entering.
pilot
I'm
wheels are
entering these
kinda
into
cool.
the document right now.
Right, look at the trailing trucks. Look at the trailing trucks. So those, you have a spoked trailing truck, and I have a. Do I also have a spoked
I
trailing
honestly
truck?
don't know what would be better, and I think yours is solid, but
Yeah, yours is solid.
Yeah. Damn, I was holding out for you to take that.
Wait, are they both mounted in between the frames? Like they're not a truck; it's just a wheel in the frames.
I don't know.
yeah, they're it's the same construction. It's
I think
just a
they're
different
both-
kind of wheel.
They're both
Yeah.
Schenectady
Oh, I see.
Atlantics from the turn of the century. So
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that
honestly
Why?
speaking, they are quite similar. That
it
explains
just
a lot.
it just makes it a long 460.
How much you want to bet that these things came stock with 79-inch drivers and the C&W put big tires on them?
Maybe.
And that's
Big
why
mud
the wheelbase is the same on the
Big mud
driver wheelbase.
tires.
you want to know the one thing I noticed about Stevenson's valve gear that's actually kind of cool?
What's
that's
that?
compared to Walsher's. Look at the crosshead, and then look at the little step that they put over the crosshead guide. You couldn't do that on Walsher's.
Yeah, actually, you do have a little step there. That honestly is something that we've given before because you can do that on Baker too.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, because like if you have like Nevada Northern 40s Baker, where it goes back behind the crosshead.
Yeah, in that case, you win 18-16.
Fair enough. Okay.
Because you have the little valve gear step, it helps you oil things, and honestly, with Stevenson valve gear, you need all the help you can get.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take this win.
All right, I'd like to hear the votes from the judges, though.
I vote the B&M thing because the Minuteman Steam video on those is so
If I
good.
wasn't representing 1015, I'd give my point to it too.
I need to watch those. I haven't watched any of those. I need to watch
Go,
those.
Yeah,
Go-
Alec,
go-
we gotta watch
go
those
watch
in
them.
preparation for our project.
That's true. That's
They're-
true. I need
they're-
to bake
so
in.
good.
I need to bake in the language of those videos.
They're
Oh.
so good. They're so
I want
well
to point
made.
out one thing that'll make everyone turn on 1015. 1015
already-
is the reason we don't have any Milwaukee Road A classes around because of St. Louis's policy of accepting only one kind of wheel arrangement from each railroad.
What?
So, yes, Milwaukee
Why did
Road
they-
wanted to donate a Hiawatha A class to St. Louis, and St. Louis said, no, we already have the 1015. New York
They take-
Central wanted to donate a Hudson. No, we already have the 170. And
They
then the
take-
Central
What?
Send this thing to
Central-
jail.
Central had to beg them to take 2933 in the 60s because that's when the Steam stuff was happening at the T-Hogs and shit.
Oh, man.
And they almost didn't take it because they had 1522 and because they were limited on space.
And once again, Central bad.
What the? Okay.
Wait. They chose.
They saved
Yes.
you and not me. You who are rude, foul-mouthed little green gangster.
Okay, so
Well-
is the judges' consensus 3-0 against this thing?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
C&W is my favorite Oregon Pacific subsidiary.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going with them.
So it gets a pity point. Milky has no what's the word? No pity for the Milwaukee Road.
I
All
just
right.
can't believe that happened. You know, it's sad, but I've heard it. That's the truth.
I'm glad I've heard this story. I wish I'd never had
Yeah.
to hear this story.
Yeah.
Oh, and it gets worse. St. Louis could have had an NP Challenger and an MP 262, but they
Oh,
also didn't have the space.
We should have saved the A class and sent it to Pueblo and made it run its guts out so we could take the speed record.
They should have put 170 in a park, and they should have taken the Hudson. That's my
Actually,
consent.
just to jump back a segment really quick because and I'll take a point for this if you guys want to give it to me. But speaking of breaking the speed record, the T1 Trust posted an update where they're working on machining out bits of the frame. So
Ooh,
duck for dinner.
yes.
Duck for dinner.
Update. Up for dinner.
Oh, they're gonna do it.
Oh man, I hope so.
If someone pays for it.
I mean, I don't know about the speed record, but they're gonna build the thing.
Yeah. Last day in office, known foamer Joe Biden should sign an executive order saying that the T1 Trust will go to will go to Pueblo and break the speed record. Anyway,
I mean, they already have the tender,
Ellis,
so it'll be ready tomorrow.
I feel like your Atlantic should have won because it's arguably better because it has a better boiler, it's got better valve gear, and it's not responsible for killing the Milwaukee Road A classes.
I mean, that last one is holding a lot of water.
Yeah.
To be frank, I don't think my boiler is better because my boiler doesn't have a superheater in it.
If it was superheated, it would be good.
You could have got a point off of calling flues because I didn't have any. I think you could have run the table on power computations because your grade area is a little bit bigger. Well. I think if we had taken that to its logical completion, you would have won anyway. So I'm not upset at all by losing. I'm just glad the B&M J1A got its day in the sun.
It held up, a handshake if I could, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I did already bring politics into this, so I'll just do my political spiel really quick. Many of you have heard about the debacle with congestion pricing in New York City, and the governor, who looked ready to sign it into law, walked it back and decided that she was not, in fact, going to create congestion pricing, which sort of presents problems for the Second Avenue subway, or looked to present problems for the Second Avenue subway. Importantly, like, the only new subway New York has built in, like, decades and decades and decades. The Second Avenue subway was one of those things that was going to get worked on, like, before the Great Depression, and then just didn't happen, or something like that. I might be conflating it with another subway project, but it is a subway whose first 3 stations finally opened on January 1st, 2017, and I paid a visit to them while I was in college. It is a very interesting... So it's got a lot of interesting history to go with it. That it was... proposed in 1920. The elevated lines along 2nd and 3rd Avenue were demolished in 1942 and 1955 because they were going to build the 2nd Avenue subway, and then they never did. Which the 3rd Avenue elevated is a particularly tragic one because it was a dead straight line over the entirety of Manhattan Island. Like, express service with no curves, not a single curve. Gun it. Just go. And that was demolished because they're going to build a 2nd Avenue subway. The construction began in 1972 and then was halted 3 years later. And then it was restarted in 2007, and finally the first 3 stations were opened 10 years after that. So it is a much maligned sort of it is a much maligned transit project. It's been a problem for a long time, is what I'm trying to get at. And they were going to use the congestion pricing to fund further construction. Now, this is, it did get a little bit of a boost. They allocated, I think, $54 million to continue work on it after the congestion pricing was scuttled. So it's not all bleak for the 2nd Avenue subway, but it is just a not, like, congestion pricing being canceled, and sort of the way that it was canceled, where it seemed like a fairly quick turnaround, from this is going to happen to this is not going to happen, has really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. That said, I don't really know where I personally stand on congestion pricing. If any of my co-hosts have a strong feeling, you're welcome to voice it, but I want to say that I don't have a strong feeling because I feel like the way you push people from using cars to using transit is to make the transit better.
Yes.
Well, I think the congestion pricing was like a funding, wasn't it supposed to be used for like as a funding mechanism to do that?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be used to fund the Second Avenue subway, among other things. But
Yeah.
I still I don't think it's super great as just like a means to an end, because it's just in the meantime you just make a lot of people's lives worse. Uh, and yeah, okay,
I mean, it's still, isn't it still okay? But like, wasn't the congestion pricing still like about the same as it would cost to like take the train in? I thought it was like pretty similar price, if not cheaper.
well, I think I don't
I
remember
thought the
what
train was
the
like $30, and the congestion pricing would have been like 15.
congestion price, a variety of tolls, including a $15 fee for drivers of most vehicles entering Lower Manhattan during peak periods. Now, I really question who's driving into Manhattan on peak periods, anyway. So maybe it's really only gonna cause problems for people that can, only gonna charge people that can spare it. But I feel like in New York City, you really try not to do that in the first place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the way that I kind of see it is like if a freight railroad has a surcharge on the customer because they're doing upgrades to the line, which I know one particular situation where that would be necessary, but that's kind of how I view it. Like, it's like a surcharge for a freight customer on the railroad when you do an improvement on it.
I guess ultimately, it serves to meet a different end. I just feel like it's one of these things where just charging people fees is a hammer that makes everything look like a nail.
Yeah. It doesn't look good, but it's, depending on your point of view, kind of a necessary mean to get where you need to go.
Yeah, and maybe you're right about that.
Maybe I'm looking at it from like a complete freight angle of it, because that's what I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I think about it too. Like it's not the solution to the problem, but it's like, it's the first step in being able to implement a solution.
Well, I guess, and ultimately, in a world where we are getting less and less back from gas taxes, it's sort of a question of how do we charge people to maintain the roads that they drive on, right? Even if that isn't directly what's happening here. How do we charge people to maintain the roads that they drive on? And before it was like, oh yeah, gas taxes, easy. And now there's more and more cars, especially in urban areas, that they don't use gas.
Yeah.
Right.
So, maybe it is more effective and more important to go with a congestion charge than I'm initially considering. And to be clear, I'm not against it. I'm not happy that it was canceled. I just don't know exactly how I feel about it. I'm certainly okay with it happening. I just don't love it. But yeah, I mean, I'm always an advocate for not driving into a city center, full stop. I mean, if I'm going to Providence, I try to take the bus. If I go to Boston, I take the train because I don't hate myself that much. If I go to New York, I definitely don't drive in the Lower Manhattan, because even if you're even if you get there and it's not super congested, which it never is not congested, you're gonna pay about $1 million for parking.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where they should have started. Because, like, congestion tolling is just a weird thing. Maybe they should have increased taxes on parking lots.
Yeah.
Because parking lots...
I mean, they pay paradise for them.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just a total spitball, right? And I am interested to hear your takes on it. But parking lots are one of these things where, like, if you have just an empty space of land, and you own that empty space of land in a city where people might want to park, putting a parking lot there is the cheapest way to get a return on investment. It is just an empty space. It sits there. Yeah. Sometimes you have to repave it. Maybe you have to pay an attendant. And as long as you cover the property taxes, anything you make is gravy. It is.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, it's a money printer. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a money printer, so there's like reasons for people to do this if they don't feel like figuring out putting a building on the lot they own, and B, it is it's super easy and it just takes up space. You know, it's like what else could you put there? You could put stores or apartments or whatever. Like New York City, I don't think New York City has a lot of empty parking lots, but I don't know. It's just what jumps out to me. It's like, why are you driving? The question I would have to ask is, why are these people driving into Lower Manhattan in the first place? And is
if I had to guess, it's because they just don't want to take the train. It's probably, at least my view, is maybe like a perception kind of thing. Like
maybe,
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I know
trains are for trains
the
aren't for
poors.
me. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Trains are for poor people.
I know for some people that I know that commute into my office into Boston, it's like it's perceived as more convenient to drive.
Hmm.
Which, like, in
Mhm.
some ways it is, because, like, you can leave whenever you want, you can show up whenever you want. You're not like in a crowded train. You don't have to rely on, the subway or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like, it's also like really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Uh, because traffic and the stress of driving and finding parking and everything that comes with driving in Boston and all that stuff.
Yeah. The
hmm
thing I would love to do is look at like an origin destination study of the people that would be most affected by or most reliably affected by this fee, the people that would be paying this fee. And sort of look at the data and ask myself, if I charge these people $15, do they have like are they driving in because they just don't feel like taking the train, or because a transit connection does not work for them in one reason or another?
Yeah.
Are they coming from places where it would be more difficult? And New York certainly has no shortage of transit, so I wouldn't be overly surprised if the answer to that question is no. But it is there are certainly no shortage of people taking the train to New York, and I wonder, this percentage of the population that's causing Lower Manhattan traffic, what is it that's driving them to drive? And it could be any number of these factors.
yeah. I'd love to see what the like who decides to drive into Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
I don't know much about New York, but yeah, I'm with you. I would not
Yeah.
drive into the cities. Like, at least the cities I'm used to, sure, like Columbus, Cleveland, they're not bad.
Oh, I already hate
But
Portland. Don't get me started.
yeah, but like Chicago, no. Uh, Providence, I don't know. I'm not sure I
I
want to
drive
drive
around
around.
LA if I could.
LA, you don't have
Like
too much of
LA
a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they kind of tore up the 1,000-mile network they once had.
Yeah.
Just to figure out.
Driving around Providence is like just annoying enough to make you not want to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to
It's not
drive. I don't
atrocious,
want to
but
drive to the Big E.
yeah.
I mean, I was that's a tangent.
Let's see.
So
So
yeah, driving in Boston, no shot.
you have this, TJ. I noticed that you posted a Federal Highway Administration paper on congestion pricing, which honestly is probably a good read, and I'll probably keep it open to read it. Have you
No, I'm not.
looked through this?
No, I just found it, and I thought it was interesting and relevant, so I figured I'm not. I
Yeah,
can't
no,
remember
it's
now, but
I'll put it in the
it's
cargoes.
good.
I'll put it in the cargoes for anyone that wants to read the Federal Highway Administration's decisions on or conclusions on congestion pricing.
yeah, it might be. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know a ton about like the nitty gritty stuff, so this might this might help clue us in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to take the opportunity to learn, and there are a lot of resources and studies out there if you go and look for them.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but similar to what's going on in New York with the laying down of the third rail, in California they are putting up the wires. Isn't that right, Milky?
They are putting up the damn wires once again on the Sacramento Northern.
Did the Sacramento Northern
So-
have wires?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was an interurban.
Cool. Love to see that.
So, Western Railway Museum is extending their electric service by about 3/4 of a mile beyond the current end of track, which I've been to. Uh, they stop at Berg's Landing for convenience, but the electric wire goes on for about 1/4 mile past that. And one of the things that they did to extend their track is rebuild the Berg's Landing trestle.
I love new
they're-
build wooden trestles like this because they never fail to look 100 years old.
Yeah, I want to say that they just did some upgrades to it, and that's all they did. I don't think they new built it
Oh, okay.
because the wireway's all there.
Well, it says
There's
rebuild. That
about-
says to me that they built it. You know what would solve? You know what would answer this question? Going on Google Earth and scrolling back in time, and seeing if there was a bridge there or not a bridge there for a period.
Landing, California. It's the first name that comes up when you search Berg's Landing. Yeah, because
Historically
we have the
accurate
station
catenary
there.
poles.
Hysterically accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, the trestle at Bird's Landing has been rebuilt so that work trains can now access the rail south of the trestle to dump ballast. That really sounds like there was not a trestle there. But it looks like new, but just the construction of a wooden trestle like this basically has not changed. And
Oh, wait. Oh, they extended the line south. Okay, I see. I know where we're at. Okay, so I believe it was already in place, but it was just in decrepit condition because they restored it. Poor condition
it was sad.
because honestly, there's a bunch of the Sacramento Northern to run on south of Marina, which is what they named the project after.
Cool.
Because you go from there to Montezuma, and Montezuma is where the ferry was.
They definitely need to continue.
And, well,
Go to the ferry.
there's something of a wildlife refuge down there.
Well,
That I think may cause, or
take the trolley to see the wildlife.
Yeah.
Taps forehead.
yeah, exactly.
We'll be
And
quiet.
Where's
then,
the wildlife?
We'll be
and then we built the massive trestle across the bay to get to the ferry dock.
Oh, you had to go across the trestle to get to the ferry dock?
Yep.
That seems counterintuitive.
Well,
Why didn't they just bring the ferry closer?
it was easier to build a bridge across the. Actually, no, that's all wetland. Okay, no. Oh, what?
Damn. What if...
Now I'm confused.
Even better idea. Hovercraft.
Actually, no.
Hover
They just
train.
crossed a river and then another river.
Train.
Okay, I see. It's just very
Hover
green
train.
on Google, so it looks like it's just part of the water, but it's not. It's an island. So they did not cross a bay to get to the stupid ferry. I shouldn't say stupid. It was actually a fantastic way of getting around building the bridge
This
for 50 years.
this wouldn't be the ferry that had the McKean car on it, would it?
No,
Okay.
no. This was the Sacramento Northern's Ramon. What's the name of it?
The Ramones.
And it replaced the first ferry that was only there a year before it burned,
Well,
which was named Bridget.
they named the ferry Bridget
Yes, because
because they couldn't
was
bridge
the-
it.
yes,
Nice.
Anyway,
and apparently a propeller from it survives in the Smithsonian somewhere.
that's neat. That's a
Yeah.
random thing to have in the Smithsonian, but sure.
Yeah.
Smithsonian is as they are wont to do.
Yeah.
Let's what do we want to jump to next? Maine or Amtrak in general? We actually the
Let's
CoStar
do
light
Amtrak.
just went by, so let's talk about Amtrak. I don't know if anybody else saw that on the
Okay.
cam.
I did not. All right, Amtrak. Woo.
Amtrak.
Amtrak. This is gonna disclaimer. I'm tired. I skimmed this. I got some details here and there, but I'm tired. So
Mans is EP.
I need some help here. Yes, I might kind of speed run this so I can go to bed.
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. We'll just we'll
Um,
bop through this
yeah.
and we'll bop through Maine and then we'll talk about youth in preservation. Which you are
Yeah,
one of the
I
youths in
might.
preservation.
Yeah, as I would love to say, I might dip after we do this article
Yeah.
though.
Okay.
As much as I want to contribute to that discussion, because everybody on our train crew today, except our conductor, was like under 30.
Oh, well,
Wow.
perfect.
Everybody except the conductor.
Um,
That's
But-
super cool.
Anyway, okay, Amtrak, woo.
Amtrak woo.
They're looking to get new equipment similar to the Austrian Nightjet trains for the long distance stuff. Because
Oh.
the soup lines are okay, but they're old.
They're kind of falling to pieces, actually.
And-
They're very much not okay.
Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, they're okay. Like, anyway, and they're looking to elevate the whole, upgrade the whole experience, including adding more variety to their sleeping arrangements. They're gonna have, they have the roomettes and the bedrooms, of course. Although the bedrooms are a little more varied than what they have now. They're gonna have solo suites, which I really like. Because I've taken the roomette a few times. I don't need the second bed, so this might be a little cheaper.
mm-hmm. That's
Um,
actually kind of cool. Getting the single bed sleeper. It'll make
Yeah.
it a little bit more accessible for a single person traveling alone to grab a sleeper berth, or consequently not take one away from somebody else or some other pair of people.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like is I have the extra bed, but like I don't need it.
What do I do with this extra bed?
You could split this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, then they're gonna have the roomettes as they're still gonna have the roomettes. They're gonna have club bedrooms, which are replacements for the bedrooms that they have now. Except the main difference is that they will be able to accommodate 4 people instead of 2.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Premium bedrooms are the largest. They're going to take up the
Premium.
entire They're going to take up the whole 10-foot width of the train.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
We're bringing
Yeah,
back
very nice.
private rooms.
Yes.
On trains.
We're bringing back staterooms. That's kind of dope, though. I wonder how
That
much
is
those are going to go
really
for.
cool.
About $1 million.
Probably. But, if you're like a couple or something, you could probably split it.
Or a small family.
But-
yeah.
Yeah. Then they're also having accessible twin, double, and premium compartments that'll have larger doors and bathrooms, and be just as luxurious as everything else.
Wow.
There's also there's some concept art in here. I really like it. I can't wrap my head around the solo cabin though. Like I'm trying to wrap my head around how
The
it
solo
actually
suite,
folds
yeah, how
down.
that fits out. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. It's going to be one of these things
Yeah, I
where
don't
like
want-
some mechanical engineers have figured that out, how to cram beds into these spaces, and like in 10 years we'll be able to get on a train and go, oh, that's what the diagram meant.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. In my head, I imagine it as like a roomette just without the extra bed.
Yeah.
Like instead of the bed, you just have like shelves or more window or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's yeah, something like that. I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah. There's also going to be upgrades, for lounge areas and food service areas as well.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, okay. So the solo suite
The
compartments, they sort
first
of like,
class bar looks bad.
yeah, the fact that, okay, the bar, right? They're getting a bar. Um,
yes,
they're putting a bar on the train,
Oh,
which
look a
is
bar.
fantastic. But the fact that
bar car.
the thing that we're missing out on, the like one bad thing about all this is that the way they're shifting things around. And where's the list of cars? So it goes end coach, standard coach, priority coach, diner, which implies to me that the diner will be accessible to coach passengers.
Yeah,
Cafe,
that makes sense to me.
which the cafe would act as cafe and some kind of lounge, I'd imagine. What is the makeup of the
Yeah.
cafe here? Uh, and then like the sightseer
Mhm.
lounge, and then the sleepers. And the lounge is on the far side, and the lounge would be sleeper only. But
Right.
I would imagine, that the cafe car is going to sort of function as a lounge, or at least have
I
tables you can
would
chill
think
in.
so. I mean, I mean, if it's anything, if it's like the Superlander cafes now,
Mm-hmm.
I would think it would. It's just maybe like more tables upstairs instead of, uh, you know, tables downstairs, than uh, the sightseer lounge seats upstairs. Like it's tables on both floors, and then the lounge car is something else.
I'm trying to see the conceptual coach arrangement for the cafe car. Oh
I
yeah,
just
there's the cafe car. Okay, so the thing with the cafe car is it's mostly regular seating. It looks like, or like first class seating because it's two in one seating. Um,
Yeah.
in like the actual seating side, and then the cafe, and then there's a handful of tables. So that's kind of
well,
surprising.
there.
It seems like a loss for coach passengers. Personally, I think if they want to do this and they want to make it a compromise, they should have the diner available, like the diner open for coach passengers while they're not serving food.
Yes,
So you
and
can just go
then
in there and sit at a table.
yeah, which we were talking about this earlier, where I didn't realize they changed it, but I was reading through Amtrak's diner diner policy. Apparently, they did. Uh, as far as I can tell, coach passengers just straight up don't have access to the dining car now.
Which blows and is
Yeah,
uncool.
which is weird though, because I had breakfast with a couple people on the Chief coming home, and as a sleeper passenger, my meals were included.
Mm-hmm.
Theirs weren't. They paid separately with card or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
I mean, maybe they changed it back. I don't know.
the article that we're looking at here describes says this, which is on car trades, multi-course meals are included for sleeper passengers and extra cost for coach passengers if there's space. So there may have been space.
Yeah,
It seems like a
yeah,
wishy-washy thing,
maybe.
like don't count on it, but you should be able to. It would be,
Yeah.
the dining car experience beyond just being like a staple important thing of long distance train travel. It's really good to have to allow people to have
Yeah,
an overpriced meal, something that isn't the cafe car.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Especially for such a long trip, because you might not be able to afford the $1,000 or whatever for
yeah.
a room. Yeah, meals are included, but yeah,
The meals
and
aren't the most expensive
Yeah.
thing.
No, honestly though, the
right.
meals being included does weight it a lot for
Yeah.
me. I don't know why. I just think about every time I think about the cost of a roomette in the times that I've taken it, I go, yeah, but I got the food for free.
Yeah.
I don't know why that matters so much to me.
No,
Yeah.
no, I agree. Like you don't have to worry about it separately. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
I want
And
to I want to pitch this because
that's why I did it.
I want to open this because Cosmos has been quiet. I want to ask Cosmos, have you ever taken a long distance Amtrak train?
When I was very little, I
Ah.
rode on an Amtrak train in Pacific Northwest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you need to get out there and experience this. I've always said it's the way
I'd
to
love
travel.
to experience Amtrak, okay, but I'm not even really an adult yet. I'm
Yeah.
16 going on 17, and I'm one of the young guys, okay? So I'm just happy to, spend my time learning about everything before I'm ready to go out and experience it for myself. You know?
Feel that?
Feel that indeed. I think my first long distance Amtrak trip was in 2018, which means I would have been 20. Uh, so, and then I went all the way across the country, and I came all the way back. I think, was that the first time that we met in person, Milky?
Yep,
Yeah.
it was.
Milky picked me up from the train station. We went to a pizza place, and then he put me
That was
back on the
good.
train to go back the other direction.
Yeah, we actually went over half of the Albany Street Railway on that trip. Because the Albany Street Railway was only 2 miles long, so we went a mile down it.
Perfect. We need to do the other half. I need to come back just for that.
Yeah,
Mark that off my FOMA resume.
And then we'd do like a shitposty history of the streetcar company.
We did it. We need to make it in the style of the Minuteman videos, but just totally jokey, just like full on parody of them.
I was thinking like the top valve gear video.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
10 years ago, we drove the first half. We had to come back to finish the deal.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, these aren't all perfect, but I don't know. I mean, it's nice to see Amtrak at least.
I think overall they're an upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's new.
I just now saw this. No more paper slips for seat reservations.
Oh, cool.
And or like destinations and stuff. That'll be nice.
I wonder what they're going to replace them with, because the paper slips are really useful and pretty foolproof.
It's supposed to be, yeah, I was going to say, it's supposed to be, let's see, every seat row and every compartment will have a screen connected to the reservation system.
God, yep, alright, I had a feeling it was going to be
the screen will automatically display if a place is reserved and to which cities. Yeah.
This seems like something that is going to break immediately and be replaced with paper slips.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
But anyway, Cosmos, you said about being one of the young guys at RHMA. I don't know why that acronym is always a problem for me.
RHMA.
Just RHMA.
RHMA.
Rma.
And
and Jader, you had a cadre of younger guys on your train today, and I mean TJ, of course, you and I always love going to the WMF because of the cadre of younger guys there. Now
maybe I should. Oh, go ahead.
I want to first ask, before I get to the maybe you should, I want to first ask, does everyone have the same, like, memes on rotation, like, mostly things from heist videos and things like that? Because that's what it's like
I'm
in the
Grand
WWF.
Trunk guy, so, like, 6325 Return to Steam, and Rick
Right,
Rowland. Yeah, that shit's funny. So
yeah.
We don't really have the heist memes.
Well,
I am the young buck.
I want to bring some heist memes. Well, I kind of do it, like bring it, notching up the throttle. I'm like, come on, like we got places to be, but I don't know if that's.
Give her the beans.
Yeah, give it the beans.
I was saying that earlier while I was playing skee-ball. But so we do have this article here, and I wanna say to everyone that's listening to this podcast, like, go out on a limb, guys. Like, go find a place to volunteer at. Like, yeah, okay,
Please.
It's probably gonna be full of boomers. You're gonna be the youngest person there by 40 years.
Yeah.
But as soon as one person shows up, the next person who comes and sees, like, oh, there's somebody my age here, it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier. I want to do stuff at the WWF because it's like I get to hang out with friends. If I have any. It's like I
Wow.
get to hang out with friends. The Providence Northern, there's a bunch of younger guys that have come in the last year or so. That's all been fantastic to have. This group of people. Some of them are in the server now. A lot of the WWF guys are in the Discord server, and it it makes a difference to the way a place feels. So I want to hear
Yeah.
about what's been going on at Silvis with the younger folks in this article. You have the floor.
So I'll preface this by saying I'm a lot younger than the guys who are considered young in this article, because they consider the young guys there. At least 6 of them are under 30. So
Wow.
me being a 16-year-old, I'm on the very, very cusp of, adulthood. I'm going on 17 in about less than 30 days.
You are
So
16 going on 17.
yep, that's the bit of it. And for people my age, if I'm allowed to, even have advice for people my age, maybe even some people older than me, it's that you don't know anything until you've gone out and volunteered. Too many people have, gone into the volunteering thinking that they know everything about steam locomotives and all that jazz and just pretend that they're the high and mighty, person who knows everything, right? You don't know anything until you've gone and worked on the shop floor. You can know the history of the steam engine, but that doesn't mean shit when you have to restore it.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
You've got to have shop experience, you've got to have, equipment experience and all that stuff. And that leads into, the article itself. A lot of these guys in this article, like Aspen Walker, I've seen him around. I don't really talk too much to some of the guys there. I just shut up and get along with my work and listen to what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you learn. It's by shutting up and listening.
Yes.
Um,
And also ask them questions.
Of course,
do
ask
ask
them questions when appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, to put it a little bit more lightly, it is every day in a place like this is a learning opportunity, and when someone corrects you,
Listen.
when someone corrects you, don't take it personally. When someone corrects you, it's because you have the opportunity to learn something, and always take that opportunity. And that's what volunteering lets you do. It lets you be in a space where there's lots of opportunities to learn.
Yeah. So the thing Steve Sandberg himself has said is that how old was he when he started working on 261? He was 25 years old. Now he's 58. So, that's insane how he was able to get that Northern, running.
Yeah.
He was that young, but it was a different time. But to sum it up, if you can get into an organization as it's new, that's a very rare opportunity, okay? I'm very, very lucky to be one of the people who's here within the first couple years of RHMA existing. So, that's a benefit there because, the people who are young here eventually will have to take over or find other people to, learn from and, experience and carry the torch on for when the other people eventually, pass away, right?
Oh yeah, and if you care about seeing these things restored and run on the man line, you've got to get involved. You can't leave it to other people. Yeah. You can't leave it to the previous generation. You can't leave it to the people that you hear about online. You have to get out and do it yourself. I always kicked myself because when I was in college, I was an hour away from the Berkshire Scenic, and I didn't volunteer there. I didn't consider the fact that I had the time, even though I might have. And now, they've got the Roger Williams running, and that's awesome. And part of me wishes I could have been a part of that. I mean, I don't think I would have been in the right position for it, but my understanding and my sort of what I've done could have been in a very different trajectory if I had gone and done that. Instead, I am somebody who would like to someday be a brakeman on the WWF, and I've just got to go and do the rules class again, and then I'll be on my way. But I've got a lot to learn, and so do we.
That's good. So, another thing I should, explain to younger volunteers is that you're not going to start off working on the steam engine right away, right? You've got to do the other stuff and learn what it's like in the safety culture, because as I was saying, Steve Sandberg himself has said, hey, it's a smart idea to work on live steam stuff if you're able to, because that's the smaller stuff. That's where you're able to make mistakes in the machine shop and get a feel for the tools that directly translates to the big stuff. Because it's better to screw up on a small brass than a full-scale brass, right?
Yep.
That's simple logic. So if you want to get railroad experience and don't have a museum local to you, look for a live steam club. Go to there. get experience in a place like that.
Yeah, you could find live Steam clubs in like the most bizarre places.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's funny because
yeah,
I was actually in my head, I was thinking like, I feel like there are more like historical societies and like museums with like collections that nobody
Yeah.
takes care of. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like those are might be even more common than live Steam clubs. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
very in
you
Steam
know.
world, so I don't know, but
All
Like,
the
oh,
stuff
no, I
I'm
agree.
saying
I don't know.
isn't...
It's not like a disagreement or anything. I'm just like just a thought I had. Like, oh, maybe there are, like maybe it's easier to just go to a museum. Like, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, just a
It,
random museum, random historical society, getting immersed in the thing and getting and making connections, right?
Research
mean,
what's
that's what
local to
I've
you
done.
and make
Yeah.
friends in the area.
Like, when, I initially had the thought of volunteering, I didn't really consider, like, trolleys as, like, what would be my quote-unquote go-to now.
Yep.
But it's just how, the dice played out, and it's been fun.
And
Yeah, I
now
mean-
you're like the trolley guy. Now
Yeah.
you're trolley
Stuff like that is-
certified.
Stuff like that is so neat because
All
Like-
forms of preservation.
like when we went up to Seashore last time, like I'm not a huge trolley head. Like I think they're cool, obviously, but like I don't go out of my way to do trolley stuff. But the folks who like were working at the museum and volunteering and like pitching us on the museum that particular weekend, like really, I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool to come like volunteer here a few weekends.
Yeah,
And, turn some of my attention here rather than just the WWF stuff like that. Like when there's a slow weekend up in Alma or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Seashore Dubnites a good group of people. I think they have some good people there too.
They're trying to get more.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they had for the life of me can't remember their name. That person that
John.
on Apollo it might have been John, I don't remember, where we showed up on Apollo and within 5 minutes they're just like, "Do you want a tour of the back shops and stuff?"
Yeah, I
And I was
think
just like,
Very cool.
I think he either recognized Ellis or I struck a conversation with him.
Yeah, no, he recognized either me or just us in general,
Yeah.
right?
well, no, it was funny. It was like halfway. It was like halfway through the tour, I think.
No.
Yeah. Was it?
I think it was when we were getting on the car.
Yeah,
that's
that's right.
right.
He's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's why your voice sounds so familiar. Yeah. So that the person did give us the tour first, and then recognized us afterward, and that was a really really cool day. Like that was a cool tour.
That was a cool day. I did something that I can't talk about in the podcast, but it did involve one of the trolleys and maybe mango gobbles.
Well, it's a shame that they're about to buy all of the trolleys from Memphis. They're gonna repatriate all of them up there, and we found that van that we definitely should have bought.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that van. They're not actually buying it, for the record. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool, and I love this article just sort of highlighting this fact that this 19-year-old is cutting stable caps. They're six of these volunteers are under 30, and some are as young as 18. I think they missed you on the census that day.
Yeah, because well, let's see. Yeah, I would have been there, but just not active, right?
Yeah.
I have school, I have life, and I volunteer when I can, but I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I want
volunteer as you can.
Yeah.
You know? Every little bit makes a difference.
Exactly. But yeah, this is also just sort of an article on the meteoric rise of the RHMA, which is kind of incredible. I mean, you were talking about getting in at the beginning of something, and I don't know a historical society or whatever with a stronger beginning than the RHMA, considering what you guys have to work with now.
We've got people all over the country coming here, and Aspen, who's mentioned in the article, he's 19, so he's a little bit older than I am, but he started out volunteering. How old was he when he was? Good God, 5 years old. Crazy.
Oh
You know,
my
it's
word.
insane how some of these
Wow.
people are just, not that active online and just, do this stuff regardless.
Mm-hmm.
They exist.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
It's
I'm just
cool.
happy to be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, especially about this server specifically, that's like it, it sticks in the back of my head. Like, for some reason, I think like, oh, there's no young people that do this kind of shit. And then I open this server, I'm like, yeah, I'm wrong. Or like I
Yeah.
watch, I don't know, I look at any of Heiss's stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are young
Or
guys
talk
out
to any of you, and it's like, yeah, yeah. A lot of people, yeah, a lot of young people do this and more shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Yeah,
good.
it's cool because I feel like there's like an idea that a lot of the people on these like Discord servers and like foamers and trained people that are younger are like really online and they like don't go and put in the work and the labor and stuff like that at the local museums, but like
Some of them
uh
are like that,
I mean
but
yeah, there's like I don't know, I mean it feels like I know like I know more people who volunteer in this server than don't,
Yeah.
like in some
yeah,
capacity, you know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always I'm always pleasantly surprised when I find out, oh, this person I've known on the server does this or works with this or is part of this organization. Like, uh, I'm not saying that people should be a braggart, but I'm saying that, man, I'd love to hear about what people are getting up to. Um, and yeah, I, I, I'm not sure I remembered that you were with RHMA from the last time you were on, and it's one of those things that the the world is enormous and there are many people in it, and I can't remember everything as much as I wish I could.
Well, you don't
But
brag. That's the thing, right?
yeah,
Only mention it if it's necessary. Like,
yeah,
or if you want to have something cool to share, don't mention it to brag. There are people out there who'll go from
Yeah.
organization to organization, go work at them for a little bit and move on to the next just to say they've been there.
yeah.
Those people aren't very good. Okay.
No.
They're not very
Yep.
helpful because you don't take enough time to learn something in a place.
That's something that one of our guys here was talking about. Those people will go to a place, fix it, really cause a mess instead, and then move on to the
Yeah.
next. That's not
Mm-hmm.
welcome.
No, make sure you're taking the time to learn everywhere you go. Um, and if you want to see some cool stuff, I was just gonna plug Maine to sort of jump into Maine, but you guys have heard me say that 10,000 times. I love the WWF with all my heart, and everyone is welcome to visit it. If anyone who's watching this is in the server or whatever is thinking of heading up there, you can hit me up and we'll see if we can get together. That'd be a lot of fun. But if you
Yeah,
take the train to Maine, they
I
are
do. Oh,
what?
sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I do. I think I am
You're gonna
gonna
step
doubt.
out. All right.
Yeah,
If you've got a guess for make sure to mark down your termination.
we're
And
working on it.
if you've got a guess for the not the mantle, the latest train on Amtrak, you can put that in the chat. I
I know
also
which one it is, and
I also recommend if you're gonna find stuff tomorrow, I'd put that link somewhere you will be able to see after the podcast ends.
Oh, L, you're right. Uh, put it here.
Anyway, all right. Maine, Portland.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll start with the good news. Portland is studying moving their Amtrak station to the actual line where the Amtrak train goes, which is very cool. Currently, it goes to the former terminus of the Downeaster, the Portland Transportation Center, and that is on a spur down what used to be the mountain extension or the mountain division. Sorry, mountain extension somewhere else. Um, but yeah, the mountain division, and so the trains after they got extended to Brunswick, now they have to do some sort of weird little reverse move to go to the station in Portland and then continue on, which is kind of a headache for everyone involved.
And it slows the trains down by like 15 minutes minimum. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, so they're studying 3 new sites for a new train station. And apparently, number 2 is pretty much like almost exactly on the site of the old Union Station, which got torn down in 1961, which is kind of sad, but um, that's interesting. But it looks like they're going to go with Site 3 because they're going to be studying the environmental impact and a bunch of other stuff about Site 3 going forward.
Importantly, Site 3 is the only one that's far enough south that if they were to, in the future, send trains up the mountain division for any reason or another, they would still be able to stop at that same station.
Well, yeah, that's one thing in the Site 3 overview that's really interesting is that it says that it makes like east-west operations possible.
Yeah.
So that's one benefit to it that they already acknowledge, which is cool. I mean, it's good to see that they're thinking about, you know, more trains.
Yeah, and connections up there. The only
Yeah, apparently
detriment.
there's a. Sorry, go ahead.
The only detriment is at Site 1 is the furthest north, Site 2 is in the middle, Site 3 is the furthest south. As you go further south, you get further from, well, frankly, any area that you'd really want to get to. It's still better than the current station, which is on the opposite side of the freeway,
Mm-hmm.
but it is still a bit of a walk from what you might consider downtown Portland or the commercial area of Portland.
They should use that abandoned branch line as like light rail.
I mean, I would definitely be here for that. Any way to get from here to there. The other thing is, the current station is at the bus terminal, and I don't think Concord Coach is going to move to any of these locations because there really wouldn't be. It really wouldn't be. Well, there wouldn't be a lot of space for them, first of all, in any of these locations, and it would be a bit to ask because I think that station is owned by them, or at least was funded by them. The previous one, because it's like that's their hub.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think overall it'll be better no matter what. But
yeah, I agree.
I'm interested to see what happens with all the other modes and the logistics and stuff. But yeah, the other article about Maine is not good.
Yeah, it's a little less exciting.
Yeah, Midcoast Rail Service is going to be ending or has ended their freight service on the Rockland branch, which is the railroad that runs from, basically on the same line as the Downeaster, but north of its terminus.
Mm-hmm.
So like through Wiscasset and Bath and all that. But apparently the state of Maine is seeking a new operator, which is interesting because there's like no customers on the line at all.
There are a small handful of customers out there, and
yeah, the one that really paid the bills though is closing. And that's why the other operator left. So
that was Dragon Cement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are no longer.
They're not dragging anything.
Yeah. They're no longer shipping by rail. I think they are closing down that place entirely.
Yeah, they're like making it into like something else.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. That was loud. Yeah, they're closing down that place entirely, which is a shame for the industry of the region, but also because of also for the sake of rail service. And it really doesn't leave a lot out there. I think this is the opportunity that Maine should take to jump in and extend the Downeaster all the way to Rockland.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if they don't find a private operator willing to do it, I think they should just like, do like a temporary like band-aid solution where they run it for a while until they can get a new operator or get customers up to like, make it worthwhile to a private company to come in.
Yeah,
because I do think like rail service in that region is really important because I mean there's so much traffic up there, and trucks and Route 1 and Mid-Coast Maine don't really play well together, I don't think.
Yeah, most of Mid-Coast Maine, for those out of the loop, is served by a 2-lane state highway or a 2-lane U.S. highway, that'd be U.S. Route 1, which is congested every hour of every day in the summer, and during the wintertime it's Maine. So you can imagine how that goes. Uh, having freight rail service is important for that purpose. Having passenger rail service is important also for that reason. Um, and while the biggest tourist destinations in that region aren't necessarily that far down, like Rockland, Wiscasset is a reasonably large destination, and Bath is also a reasonably large destination. Bath also has the shipyard, which could certainly use rail service. They're definitely a consumer.
We also have a very cool bridge and station.
That's true. But hopefully things will be looking up for that in the near future, whatever form it takes. Whether it is another private operator, which I would be surprised if it was, to be frank, because there's just not much going on out there.
Yeah, it's not really an attractive business deal.
No. I mean, they can pay me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll do it. I'll do it for cheap.
Yeah.
Ask Casey to borrow a locomotive. We'll just there's few enough customers that we can just do it with a high rail truck. Just tow along one boxcar at a time. Anyway, all right, time to put this thing to rest. Does anyone have any commercials, advertisements, things that you want the audience to hear about before we wrap up?
If you could put that Silvus welcomes younger generations article in the description, I would very much like everyone who hears this to read it.
Yes.
Because it's an excellent article, and I think if you're interested in volunteering, it's a very nice thing to hear about. Because, hey, younger volunteers, that's what we need in this industry.
Yeah, this is it'll be in the cargoes, which is below. You can find the link to the cargoes for this podcast. And yeah, absolutely check that article out, as well as any of the other articles we've mentioned during the course of this podcast are available there, including the wrecks and the bridge fell down from the beginning, and the links to steamlocomotive.com for the locomotive verses. Anybody else? I know the remaining two people are practically always here, and I have links for these people. I've linked for Jader anyway. I also have, of course, the link to our website, theironhorseman.com, where you can buy our unique steam locomotive trading cards. I invite you to check them out. Now, what is...
I have a little plug, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. What is it?
Just be on the lookout for more videos coming soon on the YouTube channel for the WWNF.
Absolutely.
We're cooking in the background. I got a lot of footage right now getting cut up. So, yeah, it's exciting stuff.
I will grab a link to the YouTube channel for the WWNF to throw in the description right now. And while I do that, I would like everyone to consider their guess for latest train on Amtrak, of course, without looking.
What direction does the Texas Eagle go? North and south?
I would say north-south, yeah.
All right, I'll go southbound Texas Eagle.
Southbound Texas Eagle. Let me check to make sure that there's one on the system real quick. I also realize that I am not subscribed to the WMNF YouTube channel, and I will fix that.
What?
I will fix that immediately.
That's unreal, man.
I get all of my videos sent directly to me by you, TJ. So
yeah, that's true.
I haven't missed an upload yet. All right, the southbound Texas Eagle. Oh yeah, there's one right there. What else have we got, Milky?
I'm feeling the eastbound Chief.
Eastbound Chief. Okay. Jader picked the eastbound Sunset Limited. Cosmos, what about you?
Empire Builder.
Which one?
The one.
East or west?
The one that goes west, because west is the only good direction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wrong,
Yes.
but okay. The Empire. Well, you're very welcome for this. Then the Empire Built to Seattle is 53 minutes late, or alternately, there's one in Winona, Minnesota. That that's 8 minutes late. So definitely not that one. West is well, I guess West is doing just fine then. Doesn't really validate my argument at all. All right, southbound Texas Eagle is 2 hours and 90 minutes late at Austin, Texas. The eastbound Sunset Limited is, let me check. It is right there. It is just about to arrive in New Orleans, 19 minutes late. That's the best Sunset Limited I've ever seen in my life. What was yours again, Milky?
Eastbound Chief.
Eastbound Chief. Southwest Chief to Chicago, 2 hours and 24 minutes late at Trinidad, Colorado. It is not the latest train in Amtrak. Actually, did one just leave?
Like San Juan Branch?
There is one that just left LA. It is 19 minutes late. No, the latest train in Amtrak. Honorable mention to the Carolinian to Charlotte, 3 hours and 7 minutes late at Burlington, North Carolina. But I will crown the winner, quote unquote, Amtrak number 97, the Silver Meteor to Miami, 9 hours and 22 minutes late.
Wow.
Yeah. That's not how you get to Miami.
Crack.
Meanwhile, the Canadian is only 6 hours and 5 minutes late, so that's not particularly exciting. There are some other little late ones hanging around. Most of the trains around Denver are about 2 hours late or so. Not altogether that great, but nothing really catastrophic except for that. So, Jader was actually going to be the first one out the door here, although I have to check. Did I receive a point? No, okay, I didn't. And Jader just says, Bud, don't break. Sadly, that is not correct. I was told that Bud don't break, but I look in the yards of Amtrak and I find that Bud do in fact break. Cosmos, what about you? What's your last words for the podcast?
Grand Trunk Western 6325 return to Steam covers the former Grand Trunk Western 484.
All
number
right.
6325. So...
I'm not writing that all out.
Don't worry, I could write it out for you.
All right, yeah, go ahead. If you do, I'll paste it in.
Sure. Do I put it in Michaelis or in the doc?
Yeah, wherever you want. The mic list works fine. Milky?
I have a beautiful picture of the Sacramento and Ramon being loaded with boxcars.
You know what I love to death about this? The fact that it has the wires.
It does have the dang wires.
I understand the necessity.
And they're energized.
Well, I would hope so. Otherwise, they're not being very helpful. I understand the necessity of doing this, but having the wires strung up on a ferry just adds an extra level of jank hilarity to me.
Yeah.
TJ, what is this? This looks very interesting.
That's what I said. It just came across my recommendations, and so you want your own spur track. I don't know. It seems really in depth. And
Killer B is such a good YouTuber.
Yeah, that looks kind of neat. I've never seen it before, so figured I'd send it.
Watch his video on short lines. How to start your own short line. It's very good.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Isn't he in the server?
No.
No? Different, I must be confusing him with somebody with a similar username then.
You're thinking
I
about Killer Bean.
Killer Bean. Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
And that's Ian.
No, that's Bean Man.
Oh, what? I didn't know
There's
there were
multiple beans.
Multiple Beanmen.
Yeah.
Multiple beans.
Mr. President, a second bean.
So true.
I actually have no idea how to end this. Usually I have an article that I want to highlight that was just like a little thing, but I'll say that I appreciate everybody jumping on this. Oops, I lied. It's not a Saturday. It's actually a Sunday. I lied.
Here's your little article.
What? The thieves?
What? I broke it.
Where'd it go? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, I was giving you.
Oh, WWF11. Yeah, okay, yeah, we can rep that. Yeah, the WWF11 has a where did it go?
It's up in the news again because I couldn't get it to show up on the table.
They made they put some wheels on.
The truck.
We have a quote unquote tender truck. It's not really a tender because it's not a it's one, you know, it's a 40. But what the hell is this doing here?
What are you talking about?
What is this? I don't even know what it is.
There was a white. I was looking around and there was a white box, and I clicked on it. I hit edit, and then I uploaded. I searched train on Google Images, and
okay, all right.
So now we have a little train, nice little Playmobil train.
I guess we'll keep that there for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you all for coming on, and thanks to Jader for you know, toughing it out while he could. He said at the beginning of the show, before he actually said yesterday, like, I don't know if I'm going to be around, I'm going to be sleepy, and then he showed up anyway, so I appreciate that.
Yep. Good props to Trader.
But thanks to the three of yous, thanks to anyone who's stuck it out this long as a listener. Feel free to jump into the Discord server because this is a podcast for all. You can join if you want. What did you just... Stop making it bigger. Leave it. You can join if you want, if you get the guessing game right. Thanks, of course, to Stephen West of the Loco Base or SteamLocomotive.com. Without you, we would not have the trading cards. And thanks to the folks who did this camera, which I've just noticed all of the, like, border stuff is gone.
Yeah.
I guess they turn that off. They roll up the sidewalks after 5 p.m. In case of an emergency, call Conrail.